Chapter 4589. Chapter 4589. Longfei eyes are full of blood, and they are stunned. I saw that countless days of power blew themselves and turned into a void. In the blink of an eye, it is a raging party. Between the whistling, the power of eternal life is diluted a little bit. This is not the focus of the problem. The point is that the power of these self-destructive days is simply to abandon the Dragon 96 fly, attacking the Night Child and others. This is the reason why Longfei roars. This kind of power, he has the power of eternal life, cannot fear. But the Night Child and other people, this is the body of serious injury, cannot help. Hey, Longfei, you have to jump off the day. But what about them? Under the days of annihilation, everything is empty. This seat is for you to watch. They are one by one, and they die in their own hands. The sky said, continue to overwhelm. It seems that it is going to break the boat, and even the power of the days does not care. What is needed is just to destroy the white deer and others. Longfei heart hits. He can fight a battle, but he can't do it without watching his brother and woman being attacked. In particular, this power is enough to kill their lives. It is precisely because of this that Longfei will be angry. Old things, are you not going to kill Laozi? There is something for Lao Tzu. I still control the number of days? Shameless. Under the anger, the dragon flies more than anger. I didn't even think that Song would be so shameless to start with the people around him. Shameless? Haha, that's ridiculous. The winner is king, and all history can only be written by the winner. As long as you die, things here will be annihilated in time and space. Said Song. Do not agree at all. Don't put Longfei's words in your eyes at all. At this level, they don't care about the process. What they want is a result. As for anything else, it is a joke in their eyes and never cares. In the eyes of Longfei, anger and anger, but nothing to do. Suddenly, Longfei doubles and turns between them, directly releasing the power of eternal life and giving the Night Child and others a support. But in this way, his back can only be left at Song. However, Longfei did not have the choice. He does not dare to gamble. These people are all willing to guard their lives. So if there's a trace of threat to their lives, Longfei will not take risks. Master, don't, it's too dangerous. This kind of power, only the power of eternal life can compete. Your body can't hold it. At this time, the system directly opened the way. The voice of the system sister is full of worry. I don't want Longfei to be in danger. However, the system sister is too unaware of Longfei. It is impossible for Longfei to give up his brother and woman. Therefore, at this moment, Longfei did not listen to the words of the system sister, but he turned around and left the back to the sky. At this time, the overwhelming number of days robbed the power after the blast, and it rushed. Hey, bang! All of the brains are on the body of Longfei. But Longfei, in the eyes, is tough and incomprehensible. Looking at the support of his eternal power, the Night Child and others were safe and sound, and Longfei's mouth finally showed a smile. Haha, is it really affectionate? A good heart and a heavy heart. This seat finally understands why you can walk from a weak little plane in the ancient world to the present, but I don't know if I have heard a word. That is heaven and ruthless. Since you're willing to use your own flesh to fight against them, if you're not killing you, are you too sorry for you? Give me death. A big drink, a series of days directly cracked on the void, and after the blast, turned into a more violent breath, attacking down. Below, at this time, Longfei, who was held by Longfei, has already been tearful. Not only her, even the big sun goddess, her face is extremely lonely. Looking at the dragonfly, the lightness of the shackles finally turned into gentleness. However, she's also more clear that at this time, cannot be shot. This kind of power, if it is shot, will not only bring the slightest help to Longfei, but will drag down Longfei. As for the white deer and other people, each of them seems to burst. The hysterical roaring, seems to want to break free from the power of the great sun goddess, rush out of the void, and fight with you to kill me. You let us go out. The boss is fighting alone outside. Let me live here. I can't do it. The white deer voice with a rush said coldly, "Yes, no matter who you are, why? But don't think that you saved us just now. We can stop us now, we must go out. Let the owner stand alone and fight. Lao Su can't do it. Jima has a hot temper and is constantly struggling. But the big sun goddess is simply not moving. For few people, if you don't hear it." At this time, Long Fei suddenly opened. "No one can go out. You're going out now. Not to disappoint him? He used his life to guard us, but you have to go out to die? How to pay for it?" Long Fei said a word, staring at the billed horse and the white deer. "Then what do you say? Do you want us to watch The Boss Can't Die?" Turned the white deer, and the whole body broke out. "No, I believe him." Long Fei was a faint response, but the eyes are full of firm colors. "I also believe in him. Long Fei has never let me down. This time, I believe there will be miracles." Nightchild also said, "Tears can't stop falling from the eyelids, but the eyes never left in the dragonfly." For a time, the white deer and Jinma also received the sound, but in desperation, they could only sigh heavily and then looked at Long Fei. At this time, Long Fei was also uncomfortable on the void. The power of eternal life that he can use now is the soul of eternal life, and the power of the soul of eternal life is exerted from the eternal life. As for anything else, Long Fei can't control it. That is to say, although he is eternal, but the flesh, he still does not have this power. So under this kind of attack, I can't hold it. Also at this time, a series of system sounds appear directly. That is a high-risk warning. "Master, no. This way you will die. Your blood is not high. If you continue to resist, you can't resist." The voice of the system sister also appears at the same time. And now the strength of this person is condensing at the limit, fearing that it will be the next hit. There will be absolute second injury. "Master, do not use system power. Let us leave here first." The system said, "But Long Fei," but he shook his head slightly. At this moment, he can naturally perceive that his life is continually passing, and even the bloodstains have bottomed out. However, since he dares to fight, he has his own card. "System sister, I actually wait for his second injury." Chapter 4590. Chapter 4590. Long Fei said faintly, steady in the eyes, "Master, are you crazy? Under this power, you can't resist it. Even if you are in the heyday, you can withstand such power. It's hard to have life, let alone you have been seriously injured." The brain of Gigi's sister was crying and nervous. "If you have human nature, I know I am not crazy. This kind of power, even if it is song, can be used at most. And this is my chance," Long Fei said firmly. At this time, above the void, the power of countless days burst into bursts, and all of them broke out in the hands of Song. As if to be desperate, it is to destroy Long Fei. In an instant, a sense of deep crisis emerged on the heart of Long Fei. Under this power, it is Long Fei who feels a threat of death, and it is mortal. Long Fei has a feeling that this power is like a system of killing. Touch it to death. There is no room for struggle. "Master, it is this kind of power. I have already calculated it. Master, let's go back. Let's go back. It can't be stopped at all," the system sister said in a panic, full of panic, not willing to continue to stick to Long Fei. "Master, as long as you are alive, everything has hope. When you come to the supreme plane and get the power of eternal life, it is not impossible to resurrect them. But if you have any accidents, everything will be finished." The system's sister again dissuaded. However, Long Fei, but in the eyes is full of firmness. "Mom, fight. This kind of means is not too bad, and the second is hurting 100 million, who will come across in the future, but why not kill it?" Long Fei has a heart in his heart. Give up? It is impossible. Moreover, Long Fei has never hoped for the power of the system. Although the power of the system is arrogant, this time it is a 3-time life-saving opportunity. But Long Fei didn't want to use it at all. As the system sister said, in the future he will step into the supreme, and the crisis is more. Now use it. What should I do then? Moreover, once the power of the system is used, it can be saved. But what about your own brother? What about women? It is impossible for Long Fei to give up and save themselves. As long as you have a good breath, Long Fei will never give up on them alone. Moreover, in the face of such a super boss, let Long Fei escape without fighting? It is a torture for Long Fei. System sister, don't have to persuade me. Ask for wealth. I know that this time the strength of the other side is very strong. Under one blow, I have absolutely no possibility of surviving. So, next it depends on you. Long Fei said, telling the system about his plans. Master, no, this is too risky. If the strength of the other party can't resist even the eternal life, will you do? This is too dangerous. The system girl still refused. In her mind, Long Fei is supreme, and everything is centered on Long Fei. As for the rest, it is not considered at all. So, as long as there's a little risk, the system wants to veto. However, Long Fei is too determined. As long as it is a matter identified by Long Fei, there is absolutely no possibility of turning back. There is not so much if, rest assured this time, as long as I don't die, I can do it once and for all. Long Fei blinked and made a decision. At this time, Song's supreme strike finally fell. Boom! Bang! This blow is extremely scary. In the roar, there is no magic. For example, it contains the will of the whole world of celestial beings, condensing the supreme pressure and putting Dragonfly to death. On the occasion of the millennium, Long Fei suddenly turned back. The fierce light in the eyes flashed, and the power of infinite eternal life gathered together. Yongsheng, give me the town! Angrily screamed. Long Fei mobilizes the power of the soul, dispatches the power of eternal life to the dispatcher, and then directly pulls out the eternal life that floats above the back, straight across the top of the head. Also at this moment, Long Fei was black. The entire body also seems to be wrapped up by a force of extinction. Then, Long Fei will sink and be directly submerged by the boundless darkness. Rumble, rumble. In the same way, at this moment, there was a violent explosion on the entire void. Between the roaring, the whole world is almost destroyed. Diligent, there is no slight movement between the heavens and the earth. Do not! The night child screamed with a sigh of relief, and some kind of sorrow. The tears flowed directly through the entire face, miserable. The look of the goddess of the sun is dim, and there is also a sigh of relief in the eyes. No, it's impossible. Boss. The white deer will not be tolerated at this moment, and will not rush to the body and directly rush to the void. One head plunged into the breath of endless annihilation. Dog stuff, kill my master. I am fighting with you. Jima is also a humming, roaring, double-winged, shocking, and rushing into the void. At this time, above the void, the figure of Tsang slowly appeared. However, the state before this time is not the same as before. If you say that before, because of the power of the sky, the existence of Tsang is extremely illusory. So now, the number of days of robbery has dissipated. The power of endless days was also blue by him. At this moment, he has no conditions for the number of days of incarnation, so it seems that it is extraordinarily true. Even so, the smell of his body is still violet. Ha ha ha, dead, finally dead. This seat has long said that under the number of days, I will be the only one. What can you do with the power of detachment days? It is not dying. The laughter of Sangshi Shidi is crazy. His eyes looked at the atmosphere of endless destruction in front of him, and there was no trace of dragon flying, and his heart was very proud. As for the rest, he is not in the eye. Even if the construction of the horse has risen to the void, carrying the endless thunder, is not afraid. It was not until the Jinma stepped on the foot that he would bombard him in front of him, only to make a punch. Hey! One punched out. The figure of Jinma flew straight out and fell heavily on the ground. Do you dare to shoot me at this point? Waste! Even if your master is a waste in front of Lousy, what about you? Song cold, extremely disdain. Immediately, his gaze directly locked the night. Moon, see it. Everything is over. After all, no one can rebel against the power of the day. You, after all, are defeated. Before the end of the ages, it is the same now. My power, no one can rival. The sky said between the words, the hand is standing in the sky. Shows a master like a lonely snow. Incomparably loaded. It can be loaded for only 3 seconds, and a roar bursts directly from the void. Then, a sound instantly breaks all the fantasies of song. End your numbness, Lao Tzu has not died yet. But now, I am not dead. It is you who died. Chapter 4591. Chapter 4591. The sound of Long Fei echoed the void. For a moment, Song's face was pale. The moment before was still very proud, but now, it was woken up by Long Fei. Even, it has become flustered. No, it's impossible. It's impossible. You are dead. The look of the sky has changed dramatically. Throwing a few steps, it seems like a ghostly expression, unbelievable, and looking at the void with horror. But in the void, there is no figure of Long Fei. It is like a sentence that appears out of thin air. But Song's face did not dare to be small, very cautious, step by step to the center of the previous power outburst. He must find out. The life and death of Long Fei is a deadly threat to him. He will never allow any hidden dangers to exist. But in fact, the same flustered one in Song's heart. Whether you die or not, this seat will not give you a chance to get up a second time. Fire of the days, give me a fire. Low voice, very crazy. Immediately, the power in the hands is taken from above the void. Immediately, a little flame fell from above the void. Boom! A little flame blame, in a blink of an eye, it is violent. Even the place where Long Fei's figure disappeared was filled with flames. On the face of Song, there was finally a sneer. Ha ha ha! Even if you don't die, this time, Lao Tzu will also make you a dead dog. With a laugh, Song's footsteps stopped above the void. What he didn't know was that at this time, in the center of endless flame burning, taking the white deer as a device, he directly relies on his own body as a wall and blocks in front of Long Fei. Boss, you go first, take the big sister, and a few of them go. The white deer is sweating, and even the clothes have been burned out by the flame, and the skin begins to crack under the flame. But still one step back, and behind him, he was standing on the void with a flying face. Yes, it is a calm face. His face is full of confidence. Even the dragon's body could not find the slightest scar. Even more terror is that, let alone the injury, Long Fei's current state is even more violent than the peak period. When there is no battle with Song before, the breath is even more terrifying. However, the white deer did not understand what happened to Long Fei. At this moment, he only wants to let Long Fei leave. Go. Why do you want to go now? I feel like I have never been better. In your eyes, is your boss so embarrassed? Reassure, I said before, I don't die. He is dead. The dragon's mouth smirked with a touch of laughter, and the face is full of self-confidence, as if you are now, you can kill the sky. Boss, now is not a time to reluctantly. You have seen the power of Song, and it is almost violent to the world. Although I know that you are extremely strong, you can't hide. But now, you can't be hard. Otherwise, you may have to explain it here, said the white deer heavily. Obviously, I don't believe in Long Fei. Although he knows that Long Fei is a powerful group, the power is not what he can compare. But he still doesn't think that Long Fei is Song's opponent. It could be said that the blow just made has caused a shadow in his heart. Now, the only gratification for him is that Long Fei is safe and sound. Therefore, it is absolutely impossible for him to watch Long Fei and take risks. Long Fei glimpsed, looking at the face of the white deer, not only did not feel the white deer, but the heart was filled with a deep touch. He also knows the reason for the white deer's concern. However, it is impossible to let Long Fei regress now. Reassured, now you are the boss. I am different from before. I want to kill this guy. It is easy. Long Fei said. His face is proud. However, this is not arrogant. Rather, it is said that Long Fei has this chi and has this capital. Then, Long Fei's eyes must be in direct contact with the system. System girl, how? I know. I will be able to gamble. Long Fei said, extremely excited. This time, it can be said that it is a bet on life. The only key is the system sister. Obviously, this time the system girl did not let Long Fei disappoint, and it was just right to control everything. Just now, it was at the moment when Song showed a killing. Long Fei tried his best and resisted it with the eternal life. That's it. The power is terrible to make Long Fei feel suffocated. Even he felt that his blood was suddenly slipped to the end. Yes, it is the moment when the power is about to erupt and the body is annihilated. The system's sister shot in time. Directly integrate the experience of experienced Dan into the body of Long Fei. 66 experienced Dan, each 30 points, directly integrated, bringing Long Fei 1,800 points of experience. Of course, this is due to data changes after the system upgrade. As with experience, it begins to spread according to a certain amount of pen power. It can be enough for the current Long Fei. Therefore, after that kind of power dissipated, Long Fei was not only safe and sound, but also upgraded directly. All the states directly returned to the peak. Again, at this time, the sound of the system also appears directly. Hey, congratulations to the player upgrade. The current level is super big and full, with an experience of 1,300/5,000 points. This is a reminder of the system that has nothing to do with the system sister. In other words, this kind of prompt is just a basic function of a system, while the system girl is an upgrade function. Call good insurance. The owner is just too dangerous, if not for people to shoot in time, afraid that the system cannot keep you. The system sister looked at the towering chest after fear. The two groups of Zhu Yu use big white meat. Watching the dragon fly is a heart. Cough, sister, you still have to change the costume. Don't be so angry. Long Fei said. In my heart, I secretly concealed that after this upgrade, my energy was too strong and I couldn't control myself many times. I even thought about the system girl. Master, you are good or bad? The system sister was shy, but still followed the mind of Long Fei and changed her costume. Can Long Fei, I still cannot look directly at the system sister. Mom, it's not that I'm not strong, but the system girl is too hot. Long Fei's heart comforted himself. Then the eyes must be, sister, it's time to do business. The hand of Laozi's avenue is already hungry and thirsty. The dragon's mouth was picked, and a cold smile appeared. Then, Long Fei's eyes turned, and the power of eternal life emerged from the eyes, directly annihilating the flames of the sky. Then step out. Song, I can't think of it. Lao Tzu is still alive, and better than before. But now, are you ready? Long Fei stepped over the void and confronted Song. The eyes of the eyes are full of panic, step by step backwards. But Long Fei, but it is pressing hard. I want to retire? It is impossible. Today, no one can stop Laozi. I want to kill the sky. Chapter 4592. Chapter 4592. As soon as the phrase fell, Long Fei was proud of the void, invincible, sweeping the void. In contrast, Song's face is pale. He can also feel that the breath of Long Fei has changed. You broke through. No, impossible. This is absolutely impossible. No one can survive under the annihilation of the days, and it is impossible to break through. Who are you? Who are you? You can never be a dragon. Panic and open mouth. Mouth is not a word. Like being caught in a madness. I don't believe that Long Fei can be safe and sound, even repaired to be stronger than before. Who am I? Laozi is your ancestor. Mom, the number of days in control is very strong. I almost beat Laozi. Do not explode you. I feel that this opportunity for this life. Long Fei said coldly. All the anger and anger in the heart vented. Too bad. Before playing against him, although he can compete with Song, he is still passive. Moreover, in order to protect the Night Child and other people, the means of self-resistance against the heavens made Long Fei suffer serious injuries. Therefore, Long Fei's heart had already smashed his stomach. Now that the upgrade has come back, there is only one thought in Long Fei's heart, that is, to smash the sky. Moreover, in order to deal with Song, even the experienced Dan has been swallowed up. Direct upgrade. If this situation is not violent, Long Fei is afraid of the system's existence. At this time, the night of the night, Mei Mei and others are filled with joy. Long Fei is their main heart. Before they thought that Long Fei was killed by Tsang, he had already died and he had given up his struggle. Now, Long Fei is safe and sound, and their hearts are instantly wrapped up with excitement. Even the Jianma, which was seriously injured before, slowly regained consciousness. In the corner of the void, I looked excitedly at the dragonfly flying. Master, Jianma has a tough opening. The sound is very weak, but it was also captured by Long Fei. In an instant, Long Fei looked at Jianma, and he said nothing, but a direct drop of blood squeezed out of his body. I'm doing very well, my brother of Long Fei. It's just like this. This drop of blood is a reward for you. Not only can you recover from your injury, but it can also make you go further. Long Fei said. Immediately, I looked at the knight, and my eyes became soft. Reassured, everything he put on you, my husband is now coming back to you. The new account is calculated together. I'm going to pay for his life today, Long Fei said. After that, Long Fei's body changed. The super successful and full-fledged atmosphere directly rises to the sky. Boom! When the breath was shocked, Long Fei directly condensed a punch. However, this momentum is even more violent than before. After all, to the extent of Long Fei, the level of improvement is one level, the change of power, and the increase of several times. The same moves, with the power of the present, cannot be used in the same way. Boom! Boom! The momentum is soaring. Long Fei directly punches out. Invincible punches come out, violent emptiness. Days in the box. Give me the town. Song is also a big drink. I don't dare to take advantage of the power of Long Fei. Just before, in the face of the invincible punch of Long Fei, it also needs to be taken seriously. Not to mention that Long Fei has now broken through. Therefore, in the face of this boxing, Song's heart is extremely urgent. Hey! The two fists collided, and the fist of Tsang's days was instantly annihilated under the invincibility of Long Fei. Hey! Another sound. The figure of Tsang was directly blown by a dragon. Rumble. A roar appeared, and the figure of Tsang directly fell to the void, and even the sternum collapsed. This punch is visible and directly hurts him. Long Fei is also a glimpse, and he did not think that his power was so violent. Haha, I almost forgot. Nemo was blue by you every day. Now your days are punching. It is rubbish. Long Fei said directly. Endless ridicule. Lost the days of Tsang. Is there a thread in his eyes? Non-existent. All means of Tsang. The arrogant capital is the power of the day. But now, he consciously squandered the tomb in order to kill the dragon, the power of the days of self-destruction in order to kill. But he does not know Long Fei has a system, this kind of anti-day existence. Even if the power of the day blew itself, I couldn't give the dragon a fly. And Long Fei, after perceiving this, is even more unscrupulous. Crazy, are you calling again? Don't you say that lousy is a waste. What are you now? Garbage? Dregs Tsang? Long Fei said one word at a time, so he did not hide the irony in his eyes. To treat such a person is to use his own way to give him another body. Before the Tsang, the madness of a ratio, no one in sight. I completely take myself as the master. So now, Long Fei will never let go of the opportunity to beat the dog. At this moment, Tsang's eyes are also full of anger. Dragon, don't be too arrogant. The number of days is supreme. What if you are now powerful? Do you dare to kill me? Believe it or not, in the words of the heavens, the honor will start the war, and all your brothers and women will be killed. A cold smile threatened. He has no fear. Even if Long Fei is now violent and has the means to threaten him, he still has his own cards in his heart. And his voice fell, and the dragon's eyes were suddenly filled with anger and became scarlet. You are looking for death. Drink a lot. The flying killing in Long Fei's heart has already skyrocketed. I have to say that Song's words really touched the heart of Long Fei. He cares most about his brother and woman. Now that I hear the threat of Song, My heart is also a bit hesitant. Ha ha ha. I'm looking for death. Dragon, you are that comes in a small world, and you dare to be arrogant. What can you do if you dare to kill me? As long as you dare to kill me, this world will collapse in the world. Whenever, Song will notice everything here, and it will directly lead to the phoenix. So, do you dare to move me? Said coldly. Very incomparable. Even if it is not the opponent of Long Fei, it is still extremely arrogant. And Long Fei is now angry and rising in his heart. I can't wait to blow Song directly. However, Song's words also made him panic and did not dare to shoot. At this time, in the mind of Long Fei's mind, the voice of the system's sister appears directly. Master, don't worry so much. I have the means to let Song die. Still keep the number of days in this world will not be perceived by the outside world. The system's sister said. A dragon flies, and immediately ecstasy in the eyes. For the system, Long Fei will not have the slightest doubt. Since the system sisters have said this, it shows that there must be a corresponding means. As a result, the worry of Long Fei's heart disappeared directly. Then, Long Fei snorted, Don't you? Do you think your threat is useful to Laozi? If you don't exist, Lao Tzu wants to kill people. What can you do with respect? Emperor, I'm not afraid. Don't dare to threaten me. Now, give me a burst. Chapter 4594. Chapter 4594 Wanyuwanjia, the center of respect. A huge idol sculpture stands in the center. This sculpture is not someone else. It is natural respect. The status of honor is extremely respected, just like the position of Long Fei in the eyes of his brothers. Almost God, omnipotent. It is a belief. And respect, I always think that I am the only one in this universe. In his memory, this sculpture is designed for him. At this moment, Zun is in the midst of retreat, constantly drawing on the power of civilization. A trace of Shuangguang's constant revolving on his body is full of mystery. But at this time, the eyes of Junyi suddenly opened. Well, stars and sea riots? Don't it? It is reasonable to say that there is a sorrow, and all problems will not appear. Is there any accident? His face is dignified and his eyes are moving. In a moment, a mysterious light pierces the void and sways. But just for a moment, respect will take back your eyes. At this point, his eyes are more gloomy. I don't see it. In the stars and seas, the number of days has been completely rioted. Is there existence that can't be suppressed, even by song? Is it a dragon? No, it is impossible. Long Fei is a small flea. I can't afford much wind and waves. Who is that? Is it a big sun girl? It is impossible. Her strength is not comparable to Long Fei. But why? He is hesitant in the scorpion. Oh, but it's just right. Song is too embarrassed. If it is not because he knows something other than Hao Yu, the deity has already killed him. It just saves me time. In this case, the deity is nothing to be polite. Respecting the face is a cold, and immediately the heart moves. What is the 12 stars? One word. Brush it. 12 stars descended from the sky. The light of the stars and the clear colors is extremely high. Everyone has the power of endless stars. Even the breath of everyone is extremely strange. It seems to have given a certain kind of power in general. Terror is incomparable. The ambiguous warfare is rising in their bodies. I have seen you. In unison, 12 sounds appear simultaneously. Good. It seems that you are now in control of your strength. Now it's time for you to fight against Hoshino. Target Phoenix Valley, Phoenix Valley. Go. Deity said coldly. In an instant, the 12 figures skyrocketed and disappeared in a flash. And then, the face of respectfulness became a shock, and the promise of killing emerged in the eyes. When the Phoenix world is destroyed, all the forces of world civilization are in my hands, and then the great Yang and the ancient world, and then the heavens and the universe for me. Respectful and cold, his eyes are cold. Passing the world, as Tsang was killed by the dragon, the entire sky was completely rioted. Just like a rule of the world, it is destroyed and destroyed. Everything is in a state of turmoil. Everyone feels that the body is inexplicably loose, as if the shackles that have been shrouded in the heart have been smashed, and it is extremely easy. Shan Haizong, everyone's cultivation is a breakthrough at this moment. Even at the level of Ji Zhongmo and Shan Haizongju, this moment broke through the limit of returning to the true. Aha, it must be that my mountain Haizong broke through Tongxian Road. This is the gift of Tongxian Road to us. Yes, it must be go to Tongxian Road. It must be that Shanghai broke through Tongxian Road, and it is my legend. To convene the core disciples of Zongmen, we all entered the path of Tongxian Road and greeted our king's triumph. Ji Zhongmo and Shan Haizong directly issued orders. For a time, the mountains and seas were full, and the Tongxian Road was reopened. In this scene, different areas have also occurred. Dark Xian Mazong, endless Yaozu in the water side, and even the dragon family do everything. It's just ridiculous that everyone thought it was their own power to get out of Tongxian Road. This will have this chance. Therefore, each of them automatically uses their own means to re-enter the road to the fairy road. At this time, at the end of Tongxian Road, the land of Xianing ruins, Longfei was suffering from liver pain, and the words of the system sister made Longfei's mind fall to the bottom. It's hard to be so violent. Even all the spoils have to be recycled, making Longfei's heart very unhappy. System girl, is there no other way? These forces are not weak, Longfei said. Now, he has only 3 skills, though not weak. However, who would dislike his own means more? Master, you can rest assured that I will use these things. But have you forgotten the ability of others? I will introduce a more complete set of strengths. At the time, I will make a major renovation of my master. These forces will stay in this world. The system's sister said. In the eyes of Longfei, he was happy, and he was happy to hand over the system to the system girl. It is enough to have a systematic sister. Sometimes the stronger the power, the better. What suits you is the best. Moreover, there are system sisters. Longfei does not worry that the system sister will be uncertain. Longfei believes that with the amazing ability of the system sisters, it will be successful. Therefore, for a time, Longfei's heart also had expectations, and I was looking forward to what the system sister said was the big transformation. But now, solving the problem is the key to the problem. After all, Song is dead, and the number of days in the world is gone. If we don't solve this problem as soon as possible, I am afraid that the whole world will collapse. The system sisters are also nonsense, with both hands moving, combining many forces, and then directly to the Longfei. In an instant, the figure of dragons rises and rises, and the breath of the whole person is also skyrocketing at this moment. Return to the truth. Tongxian then continued to be violent. The whole person's cultivation is breath, flying into the sky. That is, Longfei feels powerful. It is more than the previous song. Moreover, there is an extremely mysterious breath that breathes on his body. Extremely correct. Just like this is the orthodoxy of a mainland. Song, however, is a chaotic thief who seizes power. For a time, there was a smatter in the eyes of Longfei. However, what makes Longfei even more shocking is the ability of the system sister. At this time, above the void, the breath of Longfei gradually calmed down. Feel the terror power and breath of oneself. The Longfei scorpion must come to the front of Longfei. If you thank you, I won't say more. You can rest assured that the world will be handed over to me in the future. After the stability of the world, I will carry the power of a world to help you fight for the universe. But now, I have to immerse myself for a while. There are still some troubles outside. I will bother you. Longfei said, and then the figure moved, directly hiding the void, disappeared. Longfei looked awkward and didn't know what was going on. He could only connect with the system. System sister, what is going on? Is this finished? Longfei asked. Of course, the master, he is now in charge of the new days of control, and his strength can also help you in the future. System sister said. Chapter 4595. Chapter 4595. This result is best for Longfei. He had already guessed it before the system was hands-on, and it was definitely to condense this power on another person. At the time, Longfei was really afraid that it would make the night child charming to continue to be the master of Xianting, even like Song, the number of days of incarnation. The woman of her own 96 is of course the best place to stay with her. Therefore, when dragon flying became a new number of days, and after the strength of the days, Longfei's heart was relieved. That's good. It can be regarded as the end of a relationship between me and him. Sure enough, the long handsome can't be covered. I am in the middle of the world, and this mirrored world is also the most powerful. Ha ha ha. Longfei laughed. Now, my heart is refreshing and not good. After all, now, the biggest crisis in the face has been lifted, and the next step is to consider the return. Suddenly, Longfei suddenly changed his eyes and suddenly woke up. No task. How did my task not finish? Song is dead, and I have become a new number in this world. Why is my mission not completed? Longfei was shocked. Even with system updates, this task has been retained. Although there have been some changes, the core objectives have not changed. Now, Song is also dead, the number of days is gone, and even these forces are used to form new days. However, why is the task not completed? This is the central point of the real concern of Longfei. Master, I just looked at the task, and it hasn't finished yet. Although I have seized the number of days, it is still unstable, and there is no time to deal with the locusts on the mainland. So, the task is not complete. The system's sister said. Longfei glimpsed, and immediately thought in his mind that Longfei had some minor troubles before it disappeared. Thinking of this, Longfei will understand in his heart. However, it is also true that some people on the mainland must have cleaned up. Longfei said in a cold voice. After all, he is not a saint, including some people in Shanhaizong. Although Longfei didn't want to burn them, but now even the system issued a command to kill them, Longfei would naturally not be soft-hearted. At this time, above the void, suddenly the light and dark changed. A mysterious breath came between the heavens and the earth. Even the entire piece of Tongxian Road began to shake sharply. It seems that under this power, the existence of Tongxian Road is a thing that should not exist. Master, leave here. The new days of integration, everything will be new, all the rules of the day will be repeated in his hands. Therefore, the traces of past retention will be annihilated. System's sister said. Longfei nodded. Then he no longer hesitated, bent down directly, picked up the seriously injured night child, and then swept the rest of the people, wrapped directly in his own power. Instantly broke through the world, disappeared. Tongxian World, the starting point to Tongxian Road. Shanhaizong and several sects also finally met at the end of this place. For a time, everyone is a slap in the face. Originally, they all thought that this kind of blessing opportunity was only the treatment of their own Zongmen. I did not expect that everyone is like this. Therefore, the scene is quiet at the moment. Dead and dead. Everyone does not say a word. Or, the head of the opening could not be found at all. Because at this moment, their minds are full of doubts. In particular, Ji Zhongmo and Shan Haizong, at the moment, have a tacit understanding of the heart. That is Longfei. They would never have considered this before. In their eyes, as long as they enter Tongxian Road, relying on the power of Chushan Si, Longfei will die. However, now that everyone is broken through, everyone has broken free from shackles. This is a panic in my heart, an unprecedented fear. No, there must be something we didn't expect on Tongxian Road. Is it that everyone is gone? No. How terrible is Tongxian Road? No one has ever walked through it for countless years. How can you go through so many people at once? It is impossible, said Shan Haizong. Will it be because of the white deer? You know, he is reinvented again and again. Maybe he will be ready every time he reinvents. Ji Zhongmo said that the white deer, the pupils are shrinking. It seems that I was thinking of something terrible, and my face was full of horror. Shan Haizong's face is also a condensate, but also into silence. Of course, the natural birth of this kind of thinking will not only be the two of them, but the most important one will be the most important. For the identity of the white deer, it will be more important than anyone to understand. Therefore, he will become the guardian of the white deer. At the moment, above the void, the figure of the heavy fairy is hidden among them, and it is also a solemn face. At this moment, his cultivation is already on the bottom. However, it does not show any smile, because his mind is also considering this matter. Even with Chu Shanhai, invariably thought of the body of the white deer. As for Long Fei, although he also feels that Long Fei is mysterious, he does not think that Long Fei can make the white deer's car more tough. At this time, in the hustle and bustle of the end of Tongxian Road, suddenly there was a riot. Rumble, rumble. In the roar, it seems that the world ahead has collapsed. Tongxian Road collapsed? It's too shocking to move. Not good, retreat. Otherwise, there will be life threatening. For a moment, all the faces in the field became terrified, and at the same time they quit for fear of being affected by the riots generated by this Tongxian Road. Rumble. The roar was still the same, and it lasted for almost a quarter of an hour before it stopped. The crowd gathered their courage and looked ahead. However, the next moment, everyone is stunned, especially Shan Haizong. It was a direct surprise to lose one. How can you still be alive? And you, how can you still be alive? The voice of Ji Zhongmo is full of trembling. Looking at the figures that appeared in front of me, my heart was cold, and a bad premonition was growing in my heart. These few people are naturally dragons. At this moment, Long Fei's face also looked like a slapstick smile. How? I saw that Laozi is still alive. Is it unexpected? Long Fei said faintly. The heart is already happy. All that comes, all come. Originally thought that it would take some time to smash a door to a sect. Unexpectedly, they all came here to wait. Mom, it's so active to die. I still see you for the first time, but this is also good, and I will send you back to the West. Long Fei thought in his heart. Chapter 4596. Chapter 4596 in the Void. Riots occurred in all the sections. All of them are eager to see the dragon flying in front of them. Because of the existence of Long Fei, they have no impression at all. Except for the people of Shan Haizong, no one knows Long Fei. But now, Tongxian Road has completely collapsed. People who can come out of Tongxian Road, except Long Fei, no one else. Impossible, my sacred woman. Tens of thousands of disciples. In the water side, a beautiful woman said with a panic, Kid, who are you? Where is my disciple? Where's my family? Where's my family blood demon? Suddenly, the four questions came out above the void. They're the strongest people in one of the sections. Especially now, the status of Long Fei and others are sick and unbearable, so they simply do not believe what threats they can pose to them. As for Long Fei, the repair is in their view, but it is the realm of truth. Not at all. It is precisely because of this that it will be so embarrassing. A look of arrogance and anger. Only Shan Haizong did not dare to speak. In particular, Ji Zhongmo and Shan Haizong, both of whom were old-fashioned giants, saw the emergence of Long Fei, and a horrible result had already appeared in their hearts. Even if they don't believe in their hearts, they have to admit it. So I saw Long Fei at the moment and didn't dare to speak. And Long Fei, at this moment, heard the sound of this sound, and his eyes were condensed. Cold and cold, swept away from everyone. Stupid. For this kind of person, Long Fei only responded with 2 words. Even Song Tsong is already in his hands, and this group of people dare to swear in front of him. It's just that I don't know how to write. Let's go. Boy, are you looking for death? You didn't hear this in your seat? Tell the seat, what happened in Tongxian Road? Has my ancestors, disciple of the town, have already passed through Tongxian Road and is flying up? The Dark Emperor's sect of the Dark Lord said. The face is full of magic, and it is full of een and sin. Long Fei's gaze also swept to the Lord of the Dark Emperor, and his eyes were straight, and there was no such thing as a slight embarrassment. No need. Now that Long Fei has returned to this world of fairy tales, the only purpose is to die. To put it bluntly, it is to kill people. The goal is to see these people in front of you. Since it is a good thing, it will give the world a new beginning. The number of days is new, and these people naturally have no need to exist. Your ancestral town? Is it magical? If it is him, I can tell you. His road is indeed coming to an end, but it is not going up but going down. Long Fei mouth sighed and said with a smile. At this moment, the people of the endless dark Xian Ma zone were extremely angry, and they stared coldly at Long Fei. Kid, you are looking for death. Bold mad. Although I don't know how many ways you have survived, I dare to smash my town, and I can't forgive. Up, kill him. Ma zone has always been rampant. Now I'm being humiliated by Long Fei. How to be angry. For a time, one by one, the magic is surging. Especially the Lord of the Dark Emperor. At this moment, the killing in the eyes is constantly surging, and the eyes are also very dark in an instant. Boy, what do you say? The sound is like the friction of the pig iron, which is extremely gloomy. Why? I didn't hear it clearly. Then I will tell you again. The magic sense is dead, and I was beaten by a punch. Of course, I'm not targeting you. It's about saying that all of you don't have to look forward to it. All of your people have already lost their lives. Long Fei looked proud and didn't look at them at all. Even said that it is deliberately angering everyone. And with the sound of Long Fei falling, above the whole void, 3 ancestors and 2 people, all of them looked at Long Fei with anger. Very angry. This is a naked face. Throughout the entire continent, their sects are supreme. Why have they been subjected to this humiliation? There has never been. Even the esteem of their sex is the pinnacle of the entire mainland, which has always been their insult to others. No one has ever dared to arrogate in front of them. But now, it is directly provoked by Long Fei, and it is a direct anger. A good boy. Is this the person of Shanhai Zone? Even if Chushanhai doesn't dare to be so arrogant, what do you count? That is, I really don't know who gave you the courage, so I was so arrogant in front of me. The sky wants to let it die. It will make it crazy. Throughout the ages, no one has ever dared to directly challenge me. Well, very good. The dark, mysterious demon, the dragon and the demon Yin said. The killing has been well hidden, and it has apparently been provoked by Long Fei. But the Lord of the Waterside, at this time, his face is slightly changed. It seems to think of what is generally directly to the side of the Mountain Sea Lord. The Shanhai Lord also directly guessed the meaning and waited for the person on the waterside to speak and said directly, You guessed it well. He is not a person of Shanhai Zone, but a dragonfly that killed Wang Yudong. The chief of the Mountain Sea said, A look is gloomy, but the mind is very obvious. That is the disaster. Now, that Long Fei's performance is too high profile. He has some fear of high profile himself. Therefore, I had to break the identity of Long Fei and seduce the masters of the mountains and seas to test. And O's face on the face is also very cloudy at this moment. Looking at the dragon, it is already hateful. It's you, little hybrid. It really is you. Although I don't know how you survived this Tongxian road. Now your good fortune is over. Repay. Oh, Ishi shouted, and the Europeans shot directly. The sword in his hand moved and disturbed for 9 days. Brush it. The endless swordsmanship descends from the sky, like a sword rain, full of heaven and earth. Long Fei's eyes changed, and he did not expect the shot to be so sudden. Originally, Long Fei thought that the first shot would be the Dark Emperor. I did not expect that it would be a woman. Boss, this is the sovereign of the waterside, and is the Taoist of Wang Yudong. The weak deer, said the white deer. Long Fei nodded. As a result, there is nothing unexpected in my heart. Looking up, Long Fei looked at the sky, and the sword rained down the sky, and the corner of his mouth appeared a touch of disdain. Since you are so affectionate, then Lousy will be a good person, send you to be a pair of dead. Invincible fist, town. Long Fei is also an instant shot. No matter who is the first shot, Long Fei will not be merciless. Moreover, things are not right or wrong, but their positions are different. Coupled with the fact that the other party contains killings for themselves, Long Fei naturally does not want the virgin to be kind to his own enemy. Never possible. So at the moment, a shot is directly invincible. Boom! Long Fei did not move, but a punch, but directly crossed hundreds of miles, a moment to penetrate the endless void, the sky of the sword rain to blast. Finally, it falls directly on the body of the Europeans. Hey! Then a loud noise appeared. Chapter 45:97. Chapter 45:97. Oh la la. The boundless blood rain falls from the void, and the void is dyed red. In the same way, in this moment between the whole world, it is dead. No one can accept the immediate results. A punch is just a punch. The European cockroach was directly blown up by Long Fei, and even the bone did not stay. Brush it. All the people moved back and did not consciously step back. Horrible. The pupils were suddenly stunned and completely shocked by the horror of Long Fei. At this moment, the figure of Long Fei is no longer the one who uttered madness in their eyes. It is a living god. The way you go is to harvest people. Even the existence of the peak of the European continent, which cannot stop his punch, can anyone stop him? For a time, everyone's mind recalled what Long Fei had said before. This time, no one thought that it was a provocation. But the facts. At the thought of this, everyone numbed the scalp. If the people in their sects are all dead on the road to Tongxian, but Long Fei has come out safely, the meaning behind this is self-evident. That is, Long Fei cleared Tongxian Road. It is precisely because of this that Long Fei can now have such a terrible fighting power, and the second person between shots. Especially the master of the mountains and seas, the face is greatly changed. There was a panic in my heart. Originally, he wanted to use the scorpion to try the depth of the dragonfly, but I did not expect it to be killed directly. There is no qualification for temptation at all. Especially now, Long Fei has already fixed his gaze to him, and even dyed him with a moment to feel a fatal crisis. As if gazing by death, the heart burst instantly. At this time, Long Fei is no longer silent. Now that the prelude has been kicked off, the massacre is destined to be staged. This time, what Long Fei is targeting is naturally the Lord of Shanhaizong. Before the European Union, it would suddenly take a shot and even understand its identity. Needless to say, it was the work of the Shanhai Emperor. In this situation, Long Fei can still continue to let the other side? Non-existent. In the next moment, Long Fei swept away and stepped out. I was originally a source between you and me. If you catch it, maybe Shanhaizong can become the only one in Tongxian mainland and supreme. Unfortunately, when you calculate lousy, this source has become a shackle. Mountain Haizong, when it is extinguished, Long Fei said coldly. Immediately, Long Fei's body was shocked, and the Invincible punched again. On the other hand, the face of Shanhaizong was instantly shrouded in terror. The whole person fell to the ground directly. I didn't even have the ability to escape. The smell of Long Fei alone made him feel chilly, and his heart was cracked. No, do not want. Long Fei, there is no enmity between you and me, and you can have a few days, but also with my Mountain Haizong to enter this Tongxian Road. If there is no Mountain Haizong, you will not have today. Shanhaizong directly believes that he directly asks for mercy. But for Long Fei, it is a ridiculous ratio. If it were not for the decentralization of the system, how could he have the heart to experience so much in the mountains and seas, and he would not hesitate to do it? If Shanhaizong really treats him at the beginning, it is not impossible for Long Fei to let them go now. However, from the beginning to the end, Shanhaizong never took Long Fei seriously. Therefore, fate is already doomed. At this time, Long Fei did not care, and the fist in his hand, the invincible meaning was incomparable, and the direct confrontation between Shanhaizong and the main door. Do not, Shanhaizong screamed, but still can't change the fate. In the blink of an eye, it directly annihilated under the fist of Long Fei. Not only him, but even the numerous disciples brought by Shanhaizong have been swept up by more than half in this boxing. There are countless deaths and injuries. Only in the moment of the attempt of the dragon, he left the battlefield and survived. But even so, he was still affected by the power of Long Fei, and the whole person was distracted and disorganized. running. However, Ji Zhongmo, do you think you can run away? Long Fei Mao smiled. The killing has already begun, and it is imminent to have a good time. It's even more impossible to let go of this level. No, Long Fei, don't kill me. I'm the elder of Shan Haizong. I can order the entire Mountain Haizong to obey you. Please, spare me a life. In the same way, the plan is to ask for mercy. He didn't want to die, especially now that his cultivation has broken through to the truth, and he is full of hope, so he does not want to die. At this moment, in addition to begging for mercy, he has no choice. He can feel the horror of the dragon flying. It is not at all that his strength can compete. Just the pressure, it has already made him smashed. However, Long Fei, but it is not moving between the backhands. A long sword appears directly in the hand. Cut. Drink a lot. Long Fei and his sword waved, and the demon sword roared out. Immediately, the virtual shadow was once again volleyed, and the body was swept away. The body of Ji Zhongmo was swallowed directly into it, and was smashed by endless swords. But this is not the end. On the contrary, it is just beginning. Immediately afterwards, Long Fei's eyes turned, directly locking the dark, mysterious demon. On the water side, the demon and the dragon. Kill. In a word, Long Fei slanted into the void, directly incarnate and kill God, and began to harvest directly. Now, there are no grade gaps in front of him. On the top of ordinary disciples and returning to the truth, there is no difference in front of Long Fei. Even if it is true, it is very strong. But as long as there is no long feeking under the scorpion sword, there is only one end, that is death. No, please don't. Oh, I don't want to die. My repair is just a breakthrough. You are a demon. I am fighting with you. For a time, the entire world of adulthood purgatory, countless crying, cursing, and pleading for continually appearing. But it didn't work at all. These people are already killing people in the eyes of Long Fei. Under the sorcerer's sword, the power to win the hook is also more and more violent, and the rain falls from the sky, and a corpse has fallen to the earth, which is extremely terrifying. Even the Night Child and the Big Sun Goddess are somewhat intolerant. Don't go too far. Even the Jinma, watching the dragons die on the spot, the face has become very shocked. Only the white deer, a look of light. It seems that this killing, he has already guessed the general. Time, 1 minute and 1 second passed, until the Lord of the Dark Emperor, the Dragon Patriarch, and the Demon Sect, after the sorcerer's sword became a lonely soul, the whole piece of emptiness gradually calmed down. At this time, Long Fei was still full of spirit and did not feel tired at all. Holding a scorpion sword is like a proud god, no double room. Ding! At this time, the system burst into flames and suddenly appeared. Chapter 4598. Chapter 4598. The crisp sound is endless, and it continues to drown the dragon's ears. It is Long Fei, and my heart is beginning to look forward to it. You must know that this time there are 5 forces, that is, the dragons, and dragons have no mercy, and they are crazy. If it is really explosive, even if it is a person's experience, the level of Long Fei will be soaring. In the thought of this, Long Fei could not help but expect it. Hey, congratulations to the player Dragonfly, killing the water in the European side, gaining experience 20 points. The spiritual source value is 2 points, Invincible point. Hey, congratulations to the players. Then, it is the dark, mysterious demon, the dragon, the demon, the mountain sea, all of them directly to the explosion of 400 experience. Only the rest, all given are Invincible points. Even the source value is not given. However, this result is also expected by Long Fei. After all, the system has just been updated, and it is impossible to have too many bugs. The existence of such a skill directly sweeping is impossible to give experience. But now, Long Fei is also very content. Now, his experience has been 2,220 points, and the distance upgrade is only 2,780 points. But don't underestimate this experience, because now, as it is now, the existence of the experience that can bring to Long Fei is too little. Unless it is a boss, in general, it is difficult to explode the experience. After all, the level of Long Fei is already too high. Therefore, although Long Fei was unhappy, he did not care too much. And at this time, the system sounds again. Hey, congratulations to the players to complete the sideline mission, to capture the number of days, to eliminate the immortal world. Task evaluation, SSS. Hey, congratulations to the player to get the king Wang Yujian. Hey, congratulations to Wang Jie for getting a special reward for the system once. The system sounds down. The heart of Long Fei is also loose. Finally finished. This is a world of celestial. Time is not long, short and short, a few months. It is all around this task. This is not the point. The point is that after this task is completed, it will be able to return to the heavens and the world. This is what Long Fei is worried about. After all, now the world is not peaceful, and he does not know how long Ting. Although Jojo shot, Long Fei believes that they can protect them, but the horror of respect is not to be underestimated. So Long Fei's heart has long been eager to go back. Now that the mission is completed, I can finally return without any scruples. System Sister, now the task has become, how should we leave? Long Fei asked. The world of Tongxian world has also been fully completed, and it is natural to leave. Master, leaving is actually very simple. This mission is a special reward. The owner can directly select the relevant world transmission, said the System Sister. In Long Fei, the eyes are also bright. Can this be chosen by myself? Long Fei's heart was shocked. This is the real anti-day. With a systemic brain, Long Fei has felt the system violent to unparalleled. I did not expect that even special rewards can be selected by myself. Not the owner. The system is now running according to the various attributes of the owner at this stage. So the rewards will also be based on the needs of the owner, and some categories will be developed. It's good to have the owner pick the space transfer directly. The System Sister said. Long Fei nodded. This is similar to the staged rewards in the game. Certainly, in order to open the next paragraph of the task props. One thought about this. Long Fei said directly, open the reward. Hey, the player turns on the system reward. Hey, the system rewards 3 categories. The gods, the ancient to the high force, the world portal 3. Please choose the player. Long Fei's eyes glanced at the system, and he was struggling. If you can, he really doesn't want to choose. The system is produced absolutely fine. Even if it is a soldier, it is definitely not comparable to the gods of the world itself. As for the ancient to the high force, although I don't know what the power is, it can be defined as a special reward by the system, which is absolutely unusual. Mom, it's too tortured. Long Fei's heart was helpless, and his eyes were full of disappointment. But no way. Now you can only choose one. Or, we can only choose the world portal now. Otherwise, there will be no way to go back, even in the Wanjie. Choose the world portal. Long Fei said with tears, full of reluctance and unwillingness. Hey, congratulations to the player to choose the world's 3 gateways. Rewards have been issued. System space. Please pay attention to check. The system sounds down. However, Long Fei naturally did not have the heart to see. On the contrary, it is more concerned about another reward for the system. Wang Yujian. As soon as you read it, Long Fei's mind will sink into the system and view. Boundary Wang Yujian. No grade. Description. Unknown items, a part of a superficial object that needs to be combined. In the eyes of Long Fei, I thought that Wang Yujian, a king of this world, was already a treasure, but it didn't work. It turned out to be something that the system could not be determined. For a moment, Long Fei wanted to say a word. I bought watch last year. There is no reward for any effect, but also a reward? System Sister, what is the situation? Long Fei asked quickly. Master, system operation is in charge of everything that is good for your development. Although this thing is useless now, it does not mean that it will not be useful in the future. Whether the owner returns to the ancient world, can he get the other half and open it directly? Said the System Sister. Long Fei nodded. Although it is helpless, the result is already doomed, and even if it continues to entangle, it has no effect. In the next moment, Long Fei's eyes turned directly into the void, and he was fixed on the white deer. Do you want to leave with me? Or stay in this world? Long Fei asked. Long Fei knows that the white deer itself belongs to this world of fairy tales. As his boss, Long Fei needs to ask his opinions. Boss, of course, I am leaving with you. I have a chance to see the wider world. How can I give up? But the boss, can you leave a living path for the old man? Asked the white deer. In any case, he'll be a guardian. And Long Fei now basically wiped out the high-end combat power of the world. The white deer will be afraid that Long Fei will also erase the heavy fairy, and this will open the court. Reassure, he has never been an enemy of me, and he is your guardian. I will naturally leave him alive. Even, you will give him a chance. Long Fei said, immediately above the gaze, the world, and I have no worries. I am leaving. In the future, if you control the number of days, you will make the sacred person a spokesperson. As for the future, I am waiting for you in the ancient world. Long Fei said directly to the void. But in this scene, no one knows what is going on except for the Night Child and others. Then, Long Fei no longer hesitated. With both hands moving, the world portal was taken out of the system space, thrown into the void, and an illusory road directly emerged above the void. Go! Unable to say, Long Fei stepped out in one step, holding the Night Child and entering the channel. After that, the great sun goddess, followed by White Deer and Jianma, disappeared. Chapter 4599. Chapter 4599, Ancient World. A source of cleansing, spiritual power is like a void in the spirit. A shadow of the mountain slowly emerges. Hey, do you say that Fei can really withstand the power outside of Haoyu? Among the mountains, a middle-aged man stood up with his hands and looked solemn. The body is also very strong. A dress is full of warfare, and there is no anger in the scorpion. As if it has experienced vicissitudes, it is daunting. Only when looking at the woman in front of me, these eyes will appear a gentle touch. Hey, Fei is now stronger than you and me. I feel that I have reached the requirements of the ancient predecessors, and, apart from Fei, there is no more room to choose. The ant said, yes, these two people are the parents of Long Fei, the Dragon Wars and the Curtains. The dragon battled with a pair of fists, and a smoldering gas rushed out of him. The ants also noticed the emotions of the dragon battle, and clung to the hands of the dragon. Hey, I know that you are extremely angry and unwilling in your heart. The world is too much for the children. But I believe that Fei, the more hardships I experience, the more I will get in the future. And this is his responsibility. He has so many women to guard, and now has his own children. This responsibility he does not pick up. Who will resist? The curtains said faintly. His face is also hanging divided into threads, even with a bit of resentment, as if to say, there are too many women in Long Fei. The face of the dragon warfare showed a few minutes, slightly stunned, and looked back at the top of the mountain. A dozen women gathered in various forms, and a black line appeared on his face. Cough. This can only say that the personality of Fei is placed here. Otherwise, how can there be so many women like him? The dragon warfare said, slightly intent. Oh, how? Very proud? Do you still think that you were looking for less? The curtains looked at the eyes, and a killing appeared from the eyes. No, not a lot. The dragon battled a fierce spirit, and suddenly woke up. Sun is a sun. Lousy is lousy. Although he inherited my excellent genes, but the spleen gap is too big. I am tough and stalwart. Fighting in the battlefield, these high-quality characters have learned the past. Unfortunately, did not learn my specificity. The dragon battle is weak and weak. Hey, count you to know. But when I saw many people on the top of the mountain, I was open-eyed. It's still a matter of flying. So many women are coming back. One is better than one, and it can be used in any era to provoke riots in the world. I can't think of it all by my son. In the end is my son. The ant said, very proud. On the other hand, it is a dark blue. He would like to ask a question, who is still crying like a cry. Now, how can it become proud? just because it is your own son? The dragon battle is very speechless. A generation of god of war, also suddenly exhausted. There is no way to refute. But when I watched the curtain, I was more and more excited. The dragon battle was even more speechless. I had to quickly transfer the topic and said, according to the time, Feyre should end up in the world where you laid out. It's almost the same. If the flying child solves the number of days in that world, I am afraid that it will return. The ants said, well, it seems that we should be prepared again, and the return of the flying, the mystery of the ancient world, is also a step by step. Long war, eyes must be said. The sorrowful look is also a condensate at this time, becoming serious. It's a good thing to say, when the fly returns, I am afraid that it will be peaceful in the ancient world. The ant said not. It is also at this time, far above a corner of the ancient world. A mysterious light suddenly appeared above 9 days, directly piercing the void. Then a portal came slowly. Subsequently, Lone Fay, Night's son, Daon Goddess, and other brothers walked out of the portal directly. Hey, there is no gap, and the bodies of several people are once again abandoned by the portal, and they land vertically in an instant. If it is not Lone Fay has long been used to the system power, is not reliable, prepared in advance, afraid that a few people will fall. For a moment, Lone Fay's body was reversed, and the power of longevity was vertical and horizontal, dragging several people directly, and then descending on the earth. Boss, is this your world? It doesn't feel very powerful, said the white deer weak. In fact, what he wants to say is weak. A weak batch. Even some people can't believe that the world that can make such a powerful dragonfly is so fragile. Although the aura is very strong, the rules of the world are extremely fragile and seem to be imperfect. Even giving the white deer a feeling, it seems that he can easily break the world between them. Yes, boss, this world, I feel that we have not been strong in the world of celestial beings. How can you make such a strong one? Jima also said, a look of suspiciousness. Of course, the Night Child and the Big Sun Goddess are all the same. Lone Fay's powerful horror, but never thought about it. The local world is so weak. Lone Fay's face did not agree. Is the ancient world really fragile? Non-existent. Just now, because of the destruction of the Emperor, all the rules are repeated. At the beginning, I left for only a month and went to the world. Between the haste, just some rules were set casually. Just like the laws of the world, there are no natural restrictions. But now it is different. He has returned, and naturally he will free up his hand to formulate the rules of the ancient world. Otherwise, once there is any danger, it is feared that the ancient world will be easily collapsed. As soon as I read this, Long Fay's mind was moved and directly linked to the ancient world. In an instant, the feeling of absolute control came to the heart of Lone Fay. It seems that as long as Lone Fay thinks, he can feel any corner of the world. But at this time, a strange feeling suddenly appeared, directly cut off the connection between Lone Fay and the ancient world. Hey! In an instant, Lone Fay also slammed a step between the sudden sweat on his forehead. Obviously, a force he does not know is stealing the entire ancient world and wants to take control of it from Lone Fay. Lone Fay, naturally, has also been affected. Where is the trough? What happened to this ancient world? Who is it? A big dog. Even the things of Lao Tzu dare to steal? Lone Fay's heart was moving, killing the machine. Night Child May first noticed. Husband, what happened? Asked the Night Child. Nothing. Just left some time and found someone moving my things. Lone Fay said faintly, but there is no specific details. Only the Big Sun Goddess. At this time, it is a chuckle. I am afraid that someone has moved your control of the world. Chapter 4600. Chapter 4600. Lone Fay is also amazed by the words of the great Sun Goddess. After all, he is the one who controls the ancient world, so he can feel abnormal and take it for granted. I did not expect that the Big Sun Girl is in a language. How do you know? Lone Fay asked with a smile and whispered, a look of interest. For the identity of the great Sun Goddess, Lone Fay has already known. Of course, although I have long known that this is my main task, Longfei has not performed too much. However, in my heart, this great cause of making a baby is always in my heart. Just to not show it, it can be said that it is a slap in the face. In addition, after the settlement of the world of Tongxian, the raging return to the ancient world, there is no thought to understand the other. Today, the big sun goddess took the initiative to open the door, just broke the deadlock. It's very simple, because I used to be the king of the world. So I have just arrived in this world. I have already discovered that the world has a breath that excludes you, said the great sun goddess. Longfei is undecided and said, well said. Everything, just like the big sun goddess said, in just a few months, the ancient world has changed dramatically. He even took control of his king of the world, a replica of the world of living and immortality. However, the difference is that Longfei absolutely does not allow this kind of accident to happen in the ancient world. It's only that he has taken the share of other people's things. Now, he is actually picking peaches by others. Can't bear it. The cliff can't stand it. And the white deer will also react at this time. Boss, are people in this world so hoisted? You are so arrogant. The world you control, dare to seize? Asked white deer. Originally, he still felt that the rules of the world were weak, and even if he was a repairer, he should not be able to go anywhere. Unexpectedly, even so violent, even Longfei's control of the world wants to seize. For a time, Bai Lu felt that he was a younger brother. Unmatched. Business bag. My peaches dare to pick it up? No matter who. I gave him a death sin. Longfei responded with a cold response. No matter who it is, moving the ancient world is the reverse scale of moving dragons. The Emperor Xian was destroyed, and this ancient world is the best proof of this causal knot. Moreover, their parents are also in the ancient world. Therefore, Longfei will never let anyone turmoil the roots of the ancient world. As soon as I read this, Longfei thought of a sinking and contacted the system directly. System girl, can you perceive what power is in control of the ancient world? Master, this power is too concealed. Unless I can come to your world, maybe I can perceive it. But now I can't perceive it. The system's sister said, Longfei is a glimpse. Come to my world? Well, can you say that you can still come out of the system and come to my world? For a moment, Longfei was shocked. This is more powerful than the movement of the ancient world. What is the system? It is a program compiled from countless codes. But now the system's sister's words, but let Longfei have a new understanding of the system. This kind of thing never dare to think the system intelligence brain can actually get out of the system. If it really comes out, what kind of state will it be? I am afraid that it is incomprehensible in the world. It's not working now, but I can change the owner. After the master's transformation is complete, I will be able to come out. But the master, your body still has some small troubles now. I seem to feel that another kind of system energy has actually moved in your body. I will relieve the hidden danger first. The system's sister said, and Longfei, but the heart is suddenly shocked. Dragabation. Inexplicable. Longfei's heart once again thought of Longbation. The shadow of Longbation is too much in the heart of Longfei. From the beginning of the dragon's attack on the world, the shadow of Longbation seems to have appeared in the fate of Longfei. Even if it is now, it has not disappeared. Another kind of system power? Sure enough, Longbation is a dog owner, and it is also a system owner. Longfei's eyes were cold. This idea has long been guessed, but it is now more smug from the mouth of the system sister. What Longfei didn't know was that his breath leaked out at the moment, directly causing several people around him to change his face. No way, the current dragonfly is too strong. A breath can affect the surrounding area. Boss, the host, the two exclaimed. Longfei was also waking up at this time, and the breath was slightly lowered. Night Sun and Dawn Goddess see the performance of Longfei, which is a step forward, is things very serious. Husband? Asked the Night Child. According to the truth, whether you rely on you or the lady, things will not be too serious, said the great Sun Girl. Longfei is shaking his head gently. It's just a bunch of jumping clowns. Don't have to worry about it. The reason why I am angry is because of other things. Lone Fei responded faintly. Then I turned my eyes and looked at the big sun goddess. What about the adult? Lone Fei doubts. Although he knew the identity of the great sun girl, he did not appear when he was involved in the battle with Song. He did not know that the great sun girl also had contact with his mother. Therefore, at this time, the big sun goddess opened his mouth, and Lone Fei looked at the past with doubts. The big sun goddess, his face is a moment of blush. A dragon flies. You know, the big sun goddess is a strong woman who fights with Zune. Will now make this expression? For a moment, Lone Fei directly thought of his mother, where this is not the big sun goddess is also the mother to give me the daughter-in-law. Lone Fei thought. Moreover, the more you think about it, the more likely it is. Thinking of this, Lone Fei was excited. I am sighing and waiting to see my mother, and then I must be more filial. So dedicated to finding a wife for him, and every time is the key to the system task. Save most of the time of Lone Fei directly. Between the thoughts when the dragon flies out, it is close to the big sun goddess. But at this moment, a breath of weakness is screaming from a distance. Lone Fei's eyes lifted and locked in the past. Then a group of figures rushed past, all kinds of airborne flight, whizzing past. The dragon flew in the air and directly stopped the next person. Come here. Understatement, a simple sentence. But the other party did not dare to disobey. Although he was stopped by Lone Fei at the beginning, he was also angry, but felt the breath of Lone Fei and immediately came to Aaron Fei. Adult, I don't know if the adults call me. What is it? Said the man. Chapter 46:01. Chapter 46:01. Very humble, flattering. Even though his cultivation is already super successful, he still dare not arrogant in front of Lone Fei. After all, the performance of Lone Fei is now superb, but it is super big and full. I ask you, you are so in a hurry. What are you going to do? Lone Fei asked. It is absolutely unusual for so many people in 96 to go in one direction at the same time. Adults don't know? Today is the big day of the Bohai Sea City. The three masters of Bohai City today called the emperor and jointly preached. This is an unprecedented grand occasion. I waited so eager to rush over, just to hope that I have the opportunity to understand the emperor and cultivate it further. The man said that it was not like a daring look. Even between the words, there is a very respectful appearance in the eyes, as if I am looking forward to it. Emperor Road? Some people in the ancient world call the emperor. I don't know why. And the emperor said. Lone Fei said coldly, the ancient world is his world. At the beginning, the emperor Xian was destroyed, and the king of the king was one. The fundamentals of this world have never changed. There is no emperor at all. But now, some people even claim to be emperors under their own eyes, and even have to preach. How can Lone Fei's heart endure? For a moment, a nameless anger burned directly in my heart. Go straight to the heart. Adults banned. The emperor can get the supreme existence of God-given power, power in heaven. Never talk about it. The man said, his face was full of panic. As if a dragon is flying a word, it directly makes his mood become tense. Lone Fei snorted and didn't care. But my heart was fascinated by this sea city. Intuition tells him that the changes in the ancient world are absolutely inseparable from this sea city. As soon as I came back, I realized that someone was stealing the ancient world, and then there was an emperor. If there is nothing involved in the middle, Lone Fei will not believe it. Well, I also want to see how great this emperor is and even dare to preach. Lone Fei said, and the man was so miserable at this moment. As if I had eaten berberine, I looked at Lone Fei with a trepidation. Adult, some of my brothers are still waiting for me. Or will I take the first step? The man tentatively said. The sound is weak and inaudible for fear that it will anger the dragonfly. Lone Fei waved his hand. The man, like a big man, turned and flew straight into the void, disappearing in a blink of an eye. Boss, just let that person leave? Asked the white deer. He can feel the anger of Lone Fei, thinking that Lone Fei will fight. So at this time, I saw that Long Fei actually let the other party leave, and there were some surprises. They're just people who don't care, don't care. The real big fish is the three old guys who are called emperors in Haiqing. I want to see if I am so arrogant. After the Emperor Xian, I did not speak, but dared to call the Emperor. Long Fei said, faintly, the atmosphere was restrained, but the killing was lifted. Yes, I didn't help the boss in the world of Tongxian. Now I just help the boss and clean up some people who don't want to die, said the white deer, to restore the temperament of his mixed king. Lawless. What's more, there are now dragons flying over, and there are no taboos. Ha ha ha. 2. Master, let's go preach. Fear that no matter whether you are 2 or so, anyone is more qualified than them to preach. Jima is also a big laugh. I saw the violentness of Long Fei, as well as the means of Night and Mei Yang. I don't believe that this ancient world can be better than others. Therefore, at this time, the so-called Bohai Emperor, in his eyes, is a joke. However, the other party is touching the brow of Long Fei, so it can't be tolerated. Don't think so much, it's good to go straight. Whether or not I am not allowed. He can't be called Emperor. Let's go. Long Fei said, unable to tell. The body moved, directly led several people to chase after. A moment later, a huge city was caught in the eye. Above the city, it is full of traces of time. There are still many places that are repaired with the supreme power. It seems to have suffered from extremely severe damage. But that's it. Still let a few people move. In particular, among the 3 orientations in the city, there are 3 very strange atmospheres between the faint and finally gather in the center. It seems to be blessed by the heavens and the earth, and the mysterious light is rushing, which makes people daunting. Boss, these 3 lights is the so-called Emperor's Road? It is just like this. I feel the most is not true, said the white deer. Yeah, boss, if this is the case, this time you don't have to take it out and give it to us. Jinma is also rushing to make it up, as if he is loyal and wants to express himself. And Long Fei, at this time, his eyes are also closely watching the mysterious light filled with rhyme. The white deer and other people can't perceive it, but this kind of breath, Long Fei can be seen at a glance. This rushed into the 3 beams of light outside the 9 hexagrams, and the power contained in it was the kind of power that had previously competed with itself for the control of this ancient world. Hey, it's all the time to break through the iron shoes. No matter who you are behind, if you don't play with him, you won't call Long Fei. Long Fei's heart glimpsed and landed directly. At this time, there are countless people gathered outside Bohai City. Everyone is pilgrimage-like, standing devoutly outside the city gate, waiting for inspection outside the city gate. Not bad, because the 3 emperors preached it was a sacred place. Become the Bohai Sea City. It is simply a leap and the most noble place in the ancient world. Just like the shrine of the original Emperor Xian, the supremacy. Seeing this scene, Long Fei's heart suddenly sneered. There are no tigers in the mountains, and the monkeys call the king. I was only a few months away, and the disenchantment of the entire ancient world jumped out. However, this is also good. The world of Tongxian has been eliminated, so the ancient world also needs. If you want to do it once and for all, you have to go out. Especially now, the other party has already moved the roots of the ancient world, completely not to put his king in the eyes. Long Fei naturally will not show mercy. At this time, the people in front are finally finished. Hey, a few of you, come to you, want to enter the city, then leave something. Outside the gate, a person wearing a special symbol-imprinted clothing said. A smug look and scrupulous direct opening. It seems that it has long been a rule, and there is no fear that someone will refuse. The white deer will be directly involved, and he will go forward with a cold voice. But it was directly stopped by Long Fei. I don't know, what do you want? Long Fei walked to the front, micron eyes, faintly said. What do you want? Are you stupid? Are you so good to be an imperial city? If you want to listen, you have to pay the price that corresponds to it. There are a set of gods and soldiers, and there are 500 crystals. The gatekeeper said impatiently and looked disgusted. Chapter 4602. Chapter 4602. The chill in the eyes of Long Fei became more and more heavy. It is not uncommon for such a process to enter the city. But as it is now, Zhangko is going to be a soldier and a spiritual crystal. Long Fei is still seeing for the first time. Is this the threshold of listening? It's too high. Long Fei said coldly. Hi, earth and buns. Don't you listen to it? The emperor preached. Who do you think you want to hear? If you don't pay a little, you want to hear the way of the great. It's just crazy to say a dream. The gatekeeper shouted coldly. The eyes are full of contempt. In his eyes, Long Fei and others are a group of earthen buns. So speaking is not polite. I don't care at all. As for how to think about Long Fei and others, they will not consider it at all. Now they're in the middle of the sea, and the three emperors are simply the best. As they are three disciples, they naturally rise in height. Anyone who comes to Bohai City, no matter how high or low they are, will have to look down on them. Otherwise, there will be no chance to enter the city. Long Fei's face was dull, but his heart was sneer. He has experienced too much in this kind of bridge. I just didn't expect that now, in this ancient world, this master of his own will be swayed by people. In other words, even on his own side, he was despised. Moreover, it is still the most extreme one, the one that is completely despised. In this case, Long Fei can bear it? Non-existent. So if I want to go in, Long Fei's eyes were cold and cold. Okay, want to do something? What do you want to do? Is it super strong? Don't look at your dog's eyes. Which one is not super perfect? The gatekeeper laughed, and his eyes were higher than the top. He looked at Long Fei and others and was not good at it. In the same way, this sentence also caused a mockery of a group of people around. Suddenly, someone stood up and said, Poverty! Don't enter if you don't have money. Don't delay our time. Yes, super big and full 9. I thought I was a personal thing? Rubbish. In front of the emperor, they are all ants, and they dare to smash in the city of Bohai. This is the sling of the Shaoxingong, and it is a long-lost death. Numerous sounds appeared, all of which were disdainful to Long Fei and despised. All think that Long Fei is looking for death. I heard no, kid. Just a few of you, believe it or not, don't use my 3 shots. These people will have your life. The goalkeeper is more and more arrogant. I do not believe, but Long Fei, but he shook his head slightly, his eyes full of drama. Kill him? Just rely on them? Long Fei simply does not care. Even if you build a horse, you can abuse them. Do not believe? A good one does not believe. Come and come, who wants to enter the city to listen to the road? Now the rules have changed. No gods and exercises who can kill the fucks directly into the city. The gatekeeper said, a look of arrogance. Showing a pair of me is very powerful. I can control the appearance of your life and death. And as his voice fell, many visitors outside the city gate, the eyes suddenly surged into a very excited look. Killing a few people, compared with the gods and the exercises, is naturally easier to let them touch. Immediately, one person came out of the crowd. It is also super successful and full of arrogance. Long Fei's gaze must be fixed to lock this person. He can feel that the breath of this person is very strong, but at a glance, he can see that he has just broken through. Moreover, the same is super successful and full of 9, but it is more than the original undead sacred, and even some of the existence of chaos unknown. The difference is too far. Not at all at all. It can be said that there is no improvement in the air, and there is no such power that matches it. It was at the beginning that Long Fei's super satisfaction was like a dog, not to mention now. But what really makes Long Fei feel strange is that in the ancient world, the super great perfection has been very rare. But now, the bad streets are everywhere, everywhere. It's like this person in front of you. It's a super big and full 9. Even faint is repairing, and it is stronger than yourself. And it was because of this that he gave him courage, and now stood up. Kid, have you heard it? Your life is very valuable. That is the gods' exercises, and there are 500 spirits. For this money, don't blame lousy for being hot. To blame yourself for not having a long eye and offending someone who should not be offended. The people who walked out said extremely coldly and showed confidence. Between the words, the hand is directly drawn a knife. Ghost knife? God, I don't think he is coming. This is a news show. The sword is like a ghost, and killing people doesn't see blood. Definitely, these people are dead, but it is a pity that such a beautiful woman will be fragrant. When the person shot, the crowd next to it burst into exclamation. Envy, excitement, and shock. Of course, what is essential is a kind of compassion. In their view, the ghost knife is now a famous cow, and it is easy to kill Long Fei. Of course, it is a little pity. After all, the words of the gatekeeper also make them feel good. They also want to share a piece of cake. As for Long Fei and others, no one cares. On the other hand, Long Fei, at this time, is interested in looking at the people in front of him. But there is no intention to do it all. Instead, the white deer and the Jianma will have been unable to hold back. Are you coming or me? Jianma asked. This kind of role can't lift the meaning of the shot. You do it, said the white deer, shaking his head slightly. Then take a step back and hand over the battlefield to Jianma. Long Fei is also the same, with the night child and the big sun goddess back a step. The night of the night, the shoulders of the night, is also a disdainful look up. The lazy scorpion looked at the person opposite the Jianma, a face of disdain, and then continued to lie on the shoulders of the night. At this time, the ghost knife finally shot with a long knife in his hand, waving directly to Long Fei. Yes, just in the moment when this knife is about to fall on Long Fei, a burst of electric light suddenly fell from the sky. Hey! On the forehead of Jianma, the unicorns are releasing the power of endless lazy and instantly inundating the ghost knife. Boom! Then a roaring sound appeared, and the figure of the ghost knife was directly smashed in the same place. And the figure of Jianma was moved at this time, stepping on the foot and crushing the figure of the ghost knife on the ground. Puff puff! The ghost knife spurts blood continuously. One move has not passed, directly to the horse to kill. On this level, I want to shoot my master too. Do not scatter your urine to look after yourself. Who else? Who else wants to do it? Come on, don't idle. Grandpa is in a good mood today to accompany you to play. Jianma said madly, looking proud. It's like saying that killing a ghost knife is not enough. At this time, everyone was ashamed of the general and did not believe what they saw. This second kill? Chapter 4603. Chapter 4603. I am not a dreamer. The ghost knife was killed like this? How is this possible? Super big and full 9, so dishes? Really? Also, what is this beast? The people were directly forced, and they still didn't understand what was going on, and they were incredibly looking at what was happening in front of them. Did not think of it at all. One stroke spike. Even the power of the ghost knife did not cause any harm. However, Long Fei and others did not have the slightest reaction, as if they had already guessed this result. However, the gatekeepers of Bohai City are different, and their faces have suddenly changed. They also heard about the name of the ghost knife. Even before, as everyone thinks, I think that the ghost knife will be shot, and Long Fei and others will die. But the result, they made them stunned. Absolute contrast. A big courage. Let us die, even dare to shoot? It seems that you are not looking at my 3 eyes. Do not look at Bohai City. Do not see the 3 emperors in your eyes. Notify the city guard. Someone is upset. The gatekeeper's voice was cold, and he said quietly. Immediately, several figures went straight into the city. But Long Fei didn't care. He came here to Heidi City in order to know who is behind the ghosts. To put it bluntly, it is to do things. Is it too big to engage in things? Non-existent. Long Fei didn't want to provoke right and wrong. With this time, it is better to find his mother directly and then prepare for the crisis in the ancient world. But now, this matter is related to his control of the ancient world. You must be inside. This reason Long Fei is naturally clear. Otherwise, Long Fei will never be at ease to deal with anything else. In this Heidi City, all 3 forces are closely related to the power to control themselves in the ancient world. As a result, Long Fei does not want to be low-key. More importantly, the strength of Long Fei is here, and there is no contraindication. What enchanted, demon, and devil all the way swept past, the Buddha blocked the Buddha, God blocked the gods. The purpose is to destroy everything. As for what the other party is, Long Fei didn't want to go step by step and was not interested in understanding. Because in the face of absolute power, all intrigues are jokes. What the is, destroy it directly. So at this moment, I saw that the other party actually went to find someone, and Long Fei's heart was looking forward to it. And at this time, the gatekeeper said again, "Kid, you are dead. Dare to provoke us three. Do not need the emperor to shoot. Just a master of my three. You will be able to smash your bones. Remember the next life? Nothing to pretend to force. Some people you cannot afford to offend." The goalkeeper looked blank and looked like a tall man. Incomparable violent. It seems that the three of them are the masters, the highest forces that control everything. Anyone who dares to disobey their three is against the sky. Okay, then I will wait for your three families to come. Long Fei said, no hurry or slow. Even the mood has not changed in the slightest. As for the construction of horses and the white deer, the same is true. As for the people who are still waiting in line at the door, it is even more difficult to take a few steps back. Jinma's one-shot spike has left a deep shadow in their hearts, and they dare not provoke closeness. And the three, even more than they do not dare to offend. So at this moment, they pushed away directly, for fear that they would be implicated by Long Fei. At this time, in the Bohai city, suddenly came out of countless figures. There are hundreds of people in total. That is the city guard. Who is it? It's really a big dog, and I dare to sneak in the wild sea. It's really lively. When the city guard, who was headed, appeared, he was extremely angry. The person who followed after getting up was also looking very proud and arrogant. It's your old man. Jianma directly snorted. These birds are not birds at all. With the dragon flying for so long, he naturally knows the character of Long Fei. When is there only one word, just dry? Moreover, the power of these people is a joke in front of him. The face of the city guard changed, and he looked up and locked the horse. A head animal. Dare to come out? It's really looking for death. Hey, highway, give it to me. The city guard shouted. Brush it. Then, hundreds of Bohai Chungwei directly shot. There are plans to build a horse and 5 horses. But at this time, the horse was built, jumping into a leap, directly turning into a dragon and a dragon. At the same time, the entire 9 days of nothingness directly led to a dark cloud. The black clouds are rolling and thundering. Hey! For a moment, countless powers of Rees descended from the sky, just like the end of the world. Boom! Rumble. The roar of the earth was directly submerged by the power of the thunder, and the figures of these city guards were directly inundated without any accident. Ah! No! Help! Adult, save me! In the twinkling of an eye, countless screams and cry for help broke out in the thunder. It's just a matter of time, and these times disappear directly. However, the thunder of the sky continues. It was not until the whole piece of the earth was burned to ashes that it was not seen. At this time, above the earth, there is still a shadow of the city guard. All disappeared. Only one person who gave orders for the starting number. The rest were all under the attack of Jianma and turned into powder. At this time, the city guard leader looked at the empty world. The eyelids continued to beat, and the eyes were full of horror. You killed them? You dare to kill them? How dare you? How dare you do this? The city guard was completely stupid. They're used to it. Especially recently, let them feel that all the monks are in front of them. But now, the direct spike of Jianma completely overturns the pride of his heart. Dignity has been broken on the ground. The killing is killing. What are you afraid? Do you think your people are very good? Actually, in the eyes of Laozi, the fart is not. There are kinds of people who continue to come. What the great emperor are shit. Jianma said arrogantly. You are arrogant. The beasts are actually under the imperial city. Ignoring the 3, ignoring the emperor, you're not far from death. Become angry, but only dare to scream. There is no courage to even take the shot. While that lousy is waiting here, lousy wants to see it, ignores the three. What can I do? Jianma said heavily. But the sound has just fallen, and a voice is directly uploaded from a void. I have a big tone. I have to look at it. In the end, it is sacred. Even my three are not in my eyes. Then, a few figures appeared above the void. 3 people. And Long Fei's eyes were suddenly moving at this time, and a smile was heard in the corner of his mouth. Is her. There was a whisper in the dragon's mouth. I didn't even think that I would be here. I met the old man. Chapter 4604. Chapter 4604. 6 people, 3 men and 3 women. The body is amazing with super peaks and peaks. With one step, you can reach the level of God-given esteem. However, it is so difficult for God-given esteems, so many people will stop super successful in their lifetime. But in front of the 6 people, the breath is extremely heroic. It was not at all comparable to the ghost knife. It can be said that their super consummation is a real repair. Moreover, they also surround this unique atmosphere. And this breath is the power that Long Fei has perceived before. As soon as I read this, Long Fei's eyes moved and looked at Li Ying in front of her eyes, and her heart also gave birth to a few thoughts. Is the old man still the same as before? Between the sound and the sound, Long Fei's body fretting, he took a step forward and blocked it in front of Jianma. His eyes are always fixed on a woman. However, what makes Long Fei feel the accident is that the old man in his eyes has no touch of the slightest, as if he had never seen the dragon flying, indifferent. Even for Long Fei and others, only the indifference is expressed. For a time, Long Fei's eyes also gave birth to a few points of loss. I didn't think about it at all. When I first met, I saw each other again, but it was something that was wrong. What happened to my husband? Night Child may also notice the change in the mood of Long Fei and asked, Nothing? I saw an old man, but it seems that the other person does not know me. Long Fei said with a grin. He is also a bit surprised by this result. After all, it was a lifetime of death. But at this time, the emotions expressed by the other party are too indifferent, and it seems that they do not know Long Fei. At this time, the figure of 6 people also came out of the city. In the end, there are still things that don't last long. I am in Haicheng, but can you come a trouble? Said a young man headed. A Chinese costume, showing the honor. This person is exactly the meaning of the 3, Zhao Baichuan of Zhao. At this time, under the anger, there's a feeling of being a person in the eyes. It is like his identity, which is the royal family in Guizhou. Zhao Gongzi, you are finally here. Since you are here, then the rest will be said. This group of things that do not know what to do, even openly provoke the authority of my sea city, absolutely cannot let them go. The soldiers who kept the door directly went forward and said, The eyes are very cloudy. Said, the hand directly pointed to Long Fei. Zhao Gongzi, this kid, he is the head of this group of people. As long as the son of the sun shot him, everything will be settled. At this time, the city guard said, also full of haze, It seems that I have already hated the dragon. If it is not Long Fei, he is still happy in this Haicheng. Even if he is a super successful person, he'll have to go down to 3. However, the emergence of Long Fei broke his fantasy. In order to continue to be a blessing in this place, Long Fei must die. At this time, Long Fei was a scornful smile. Hey, the dog is a dog. When a master comes, it becomes a bad dog. Know how to call it. However, is it useful? Just do you want to suppress me? I am crazy about dreams. Long Fei said, and then stepped out and came to Jianma, facing the so-called 6 sons of Zhao Gongzi. Not afraid at all. A big tone. The district is super successful and 6-fold. Dare to swear in front of this son? Don't anyone tell you, is this the imperial city? At the foot of the great, you have the qualification to let go. Zhao Baichuan said. After that, I glanced at the broken meat around me, and I was already stunned by the city, and my eyes were cold. How about that? Long Fei looked up and said faintly, Imperial city? Great. Can you make Long Fei fear? Non-existent. He did not speak, and the emperor was the left. He did not nod, and the emperor was a group of clowns who made axe and bandmen. Without it, there's only one point. That is Long Fei, the master of the ancient world. He is the orthodox of the king of the world. He is the king in the ancient world. As for the so-called imperial city, the so-called emperor, in the eyes of Long Fei, is a joke. So at this moment, Long Fei responded to the past 4 words, clean and reasonable. And this sentence also completely set off the anger in the field at this time. The atmosphere at this moment has become very strange. Everyone's eyes looked at Long Fei's group of people. All of them were full of badness, including those who came to listen to the people. This is also a face of anger. Kid, you are too crazy. Don't think that a little strength can make trouble everywhere. I am arrogant in front of me, and I dare to ignore the emperor? I don't know what to live and die. In front of Zhao Gongzi, you dare to arrogant? Really looking for death. Suddenly, those who had not been concerned about themselves before and hanged high suddenly said, competing for performance. It seems that I want to sing in front of this Zhao Baichuan and increase the chance of hearing. Zhao Baichuan is also a face of enjoyment, seems to be complimented by people. It is very useful. Between the thoughts, it is even more violent, looking at Long Fei and others, and the eyes are also disdainful. Kid, don't hear it. Don't be arrogant in front of this son. Here's not the place where you can scatter. Zhao Baichuan sighed. It is even more arrogant. There is madness in this case, being complimented, being admired, being perceived as a godlike feeling, but also giving him a feeling that it seems to be able to spike on the dragon. I really want to know who brought you the superiority. You are not forced to die. Well, when Lao Tzu is arrogant, you still don't know who is using the urine to play mud. Say that Lao Tzu is arrogant. Even if you're the 3 great emperors, you have to ask if you're qualified to be arrogant in front of Laozi. Long Fei said. Regarding such a person, Long Fei did not even have a glance at the interest. After that, he directly locked his eyes on a woman behind him. And you why? Now I don't know what to install. When you were in the ancient world, you lost me several times in succession. Now, is your face indifferent? What do you mean? Don't you want to accept it? Long Fei squinted and asked. In front of him, it was not someone else. It was in the ancient world that the real world encountered a reincarnation. It was only at the beginning that Long Fei was committed to a battle with the dark god tribe of Xuanjia. After the end, Yin Xiao had disappeared. It is precisely because of this that when I saw the cloud, I was a little surprised. I did not expect to meet here. But what he did not think of was that the cloud at this time was so indifferent to him. For a time, it was the heart of Long Fei's anger. At this time, I can't help but break it directly. On the opposite side, this is mistaken by Long Fei as a cloud woman, but it is a slight glimpse. You are a neuropathy? When did Miss Bin go to the mortal world? If you want to take a relationship, you have to see what you are. I don't know what you can do. Can you miss this lady? The woman said, the words are swearing, the words stinging dragons. Chapter 4605. Chapter 4605. Long Fei couldn't think of it. This woman who once made her heart beat. Now she will say this. Oh what? I knew you were so early. In the real world, Lao Tzu should push you down. You are afraid that you will not think about what you missed. Long Fei said coldly. To be 96 is to say that no regrets are false in the heart. But let Long Fei sink in this way, but it will never. At least, as Long Fei said, she did not know what was lost. Missed? What kind of joke? Who do you think you are? I'm the grandson of the great emperor. What do you want? A waste of your super successful realm. Dare to tell me that I missed it? It's really a laugh to Miss Ben. Cloud laughed and sneered. And Long Fei, his face is more and more cold. Inexplicable, Long Fei also gave birth to a strange heart. According to the truth, even if Yin Xiao does not want to fulfill the gambling contract, he will never treat himself like this. Moreover, the character of Yin Xiao is definitely not such a madman. How calm the original Cloud. This is definitely not the kind of person who is doing it. At this time, Zhao Baichuan is also a step forward. You Lao Tzu's woman, you dare to think about it? Is this sun looking tired and tired? Well, as you like this person, it's the two people behind you are good. This sun is going to be. Zhao Baichuan said. The eyes are full of sinister light. In an instant, the white deer and the Jianma could not bear it. Like Nima's shit, believe it or not, I dug your dog's eyes. Just the white deer. The mother is also your kind of miscellaneous can think about it. Damn, wait for Lousy to directly step over the sea city. See how you can force it. This is Jianma. As for the night child and the big sun goddess, there is no slight change in expression. Even now, the night child is hurt, but the cultivation is still there, and the eyes are still there. Therefore, people like Zhao Baichuan have no qualifications to let them wave their minds. As for the big sun goddess, it is even more impossible to look at him more. Long Fei, at this time, directly ignored Zhao Baichuan. However, the words in Zhao Baichuan's mouth were made to let Long Fei notice. Clouds? Not a cloud. What happened? Is it a sister? Long Fei thought in his heart, and he took a deep look at the woman named Zhao Baichuan as Yin Xiao. In the twinkling of an eye, Long Fei's eyes flashed, and the eternal life passed directly through the eyes. The next moment, the breath of Long Fei's face became extremely complicated. There are also some surprises in the complex. Nima. Disguised? Even the skin capsules have to be replaced with clouds? Is there anything wrong with the cloud? Long Fei thought suddenly. Yes, this eye. Let Long Fei directly see through the camouflage of Yunshang. This pair of skins is not a fake appearance, but underneath, it has another face. For time, Long Fei had surprises and concerns. Of course, there is also anger. Mom, I almost missed the cloud and I can't stand it. Snapped. It is impossible to say that Long Fei directly covered the past with a slap. But this slap, but not an ordinary slap, but the use of the power of creation. And with the fall of Long Fei, the camouflage on the face of Yunshang was completely broken by Long Fei, leaked out of the original appearance. In an instant, the crowd fry. How did this suddenly change to a person? This contrast is too big. Before it was the goddess, is it now a rough girl? I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. Everyone started to talk about it, and the incredible look of the unfolding face of the original face could not stop shaking his head. And Yunshang is clearly aware of what? My face. Oh, what have you done to me? Bastard. I want to kill you. The cloud wrath is unstoppable, and the whole person falls directly into madness, struggling to climb from the ground, and then rushing to Long Fei. But to meet him, it is just a simple and violent punch. Hey! Under the punch, the figure of Yunshang was directly blown out by the dragon. Boom! Bang! A punch is just a punch. The figure of Yunshang was directly blown by the dragon to the 100 miles, and fell directly to the ground, not knowing what to do. However, Long Fei knew in his heart that this punch could not be the life of Yunshang. It's not impossible, but Long Fei has something to ask. And this punch also completely shows the attitude of Long Fei. One word, that is dry. Zhao Baichuan's face changed, and he looked at Long Fei incredibly, and then turned to the singer who had already been shot and flew out. Although the repair of Yunshang is not as good as him, it is also the super large and perfect peak. Even if he is stronger than Yunshang, he is not strong enough. However, now, Long Fei can punch the clouds with a fist. Can he be an opponent? All of a sudden, Zhao Baichuan's face was a bit aggressive. How fear? Don't be afraid. Wasn't it arrogant just now? Isn't it that Lousy is not qualified to scatter wild? Come, don't worry, continue to install. Long Fei said with a sneer. When this sentence came out, it immediately attracted the laughter of Bailu and others. It's the night child and the big sun goddess are smiling. This result, they are not unexpected. But the surprise is that Long Fei now plays the other side as a monkey. Boy, what are you doing? Tell you, I'm the grandson of the great emperor of Zhao. If you dare to hurt me, there is no place for you to live in the world. Zhao Baichuan is another step back. The same is true of several people around him. They are cultivated to be almost the same, and naturally, they can feel the power of Long Fei. A punch will fly a super rich peak. This kind of combat power is absolutely above them, and it is not too much to say that they are crushing them. Moreover, even Zhao Baichuan is afraid. They're even less qualified to be arrogant. Zhao Jiadadi? What a ridiculous thing. I don't recognize it. He wants to call the emperor. Idiot people say dreams. Long Fei said. Then I looked around and looked at the people around me. Brush it. Suddenly, everyone bowed their heads and did not dare to look at the eyes of Long Fei. You are so super good, but I'm willing to be a dog. In this case, it is useless to live. It is better to send you to reincarnation and remember to be a bit angry in the next life. Long Fei said. Then I looked at it. Jima directly expressed his will, and the next moment was directly incarnate and began to kill. Rumble. In an instant, thunder and thunder. The thunder came to the world, and the horror reappeared. Do not. Forgive us. We are also forced to do so. Devil. You are a devil. We are just a word. Are you going to kill us? Oh, I curse you not to die. In an instant before the entire Bohai city, it became a world of thunder, and a scream came out of it. But from the beginning to the end, Long Fei did not have the slightest movement. To be a man, always pay for his mistakes, since they want to see qualifications and stand on the opposite side of Long Fei. The whole result is already doomed. At the same time, Long Fei's eyes turned and locked Zhao Baichuan. Now it's up to you. Chapter 4606. Chapter 4606. The eyes swept away, and the dragon flew on the body. At the same time, Zhao Baichuan's face was terrified. At this moment, a desperate directly pervades the heart of Zhao Baichuan, and the whole person is stumbling in the retrogression. Too strong. Just the oppression on the momentum. There's a feeling that makes his mind sway. The spirit is turbulent, as if the soul will collapse and die in the next moment. No, you can't do that. I am the grandson of the great emperor. I am the son of the emperor. If you hurt me, you will never be able to recover. You have given me, if I have any accidents, the emperor is angry, and there's blood. You all have to die. Zhao Baichuan is almost crazy. But at the moment, the people around him are all the same. It has long been oppressed by the momentum of Long Fei. Don't say the shot, just look at the dragon fly. Feel the anger of the sky. At this time, the overwhelming power of the thunder finally dissipated. And those who want to enter the city, there is no trace of existence at this time, all annihilated under the endless thunder. It was the most arrogant gatekeeper who had been screaming before, and he was not spared. In the blink of an eye, there are only 6 people in the Zhaohai River outside the entire Bohai city. Jima's intentions are still unfinished, and the war is high. Obviously, I want to take the 6 shots again, but it was pulled by the white deer. It is indicated that there are dragons flying, and they do not need to worry about them. At this time, Long Fei, also step by step, one hand directly pinned Zhao Baichuan's neck in his hand. Say, where is the cloud? Long Fei asked. If it is not for the cloud, this roll, Long Fei has no desire to even shoot. The only thing that can make him a little desire is the 3 emperors of the so-called Bohai city. Zhao Baichuan looked at Long Fei with a look of difficulty. His face was red and his breathing was difficult. You are coming for the clouds? Zhao Baichuan squatted and struggled. And Long Fei, at this time, is a keen sense. Zhao Baichuan's heart is dodging in fear. This fear is not the fear of life and death that Long Fei wants to kill him. It is like saying that behind the cloud, there is a big secret, the secret that makes him feel the cold in his heart. My words don't want to say a second time. Tell me, where is the cloud? Long Fei sounds cold. Zhao Baichuan's attitude made Long Fei realize that things are definitely not that simple, and the mind is a bit more confused. Are you a dragon? Zhao Baichuan was terrified in the middle of the pupil, and suddenly he said in amazement. Long Fei's eyes moved. You know me? Long Fei asked. Intuition tells him that this is not easy. Otherwise, Zhao Baichuan will definitely not guess the identity of Long Fei because of Long Fei's words. Ha ha ha! Long Fei, do you dare to come to the city? Do you know that after the three emperors prove their way, the first thing is to kill you and worship the heavens? If I were you, how far can I run now? You have let me go now. I can do nothing that happens. Let you go, otherwise you will die. Zhao Baichuan said. Despite the pain in the hands of Long Fei, it is still rampant. It seems that because of the realization of the identity of Long Fei, it becomes fearless. But in the case of Long Fei, it is ridiculously pitiful. Let him go. Non-existent. When Long Fei descended on this ancient world, it was destined to avoid a killing. However, what Long Fei did not think was that the other party knew himself. This is no problem, but also want to kill yourself to sacrifice the heavens? This is a special thing. In the ancient world, he is the god. Moreover, from the other party's tone, it has long been known that the existence of Long Fei. We must know that Long Fei broke through the heavens and the earth from the unknown land of chaos, making the unknown land of chaos and the ancient world merge into one. That battle almost swept the entire ancient world. Therefore, the owner of the chaos of Long Fei Town, the powerful smashing of the emperor, and the king of the border and the king of the ancient world, the entire ancient world cannot be unknown. But now, the other party clearly knows his identity and even wants to kill himself. I'm more and more curious. Who is behind you? Who is giving you the entire qualification, I want to marry me? Long Fei thought of it in the heart. Immediately, the eyes are stunned and the hands are forced. Puff! Zhao Baichuan was directly pinched by Long Fei. Then the force of eternal life was shocked, swept away, and directly annihilated the spirit of Zhao Baichuan. Then, Long Fei looked at the other four people. Give you a chance. Who can tell me what happened to Yun Xiao? I will leave him alive. Long Fei said, knowing ourselves and knowing each other can only be a battle. Long Fei is confident, and the current strength is not afraid of any intrigue. However, Long Fei is afraid of being unfavorable to the cloud. Therefore, I am eager to know the news of Yun Xiao. At this time, with Long Fei's hand bursting Zhao Baichuan, the rest of these people have already lost their souls, not to mention the struggle, even the courage to escape. Long Fei adults are forgiving. We really don't know anything. We only know that there is a peerless master in the three emperors, and has already been laid down in the sky, waiting for the arrival of adults. As for Yun Xiao girl, she has already been imprisoned by the Yun family. As for life and death, we don't know. Several people said in a panic. At this point, I have already scared my courage. In front of life and death, what the three emperors and what dignity are all thrown behind. Especially in the case of Zhao Baichuan's former car, they are not going to be a fool. Because they already understand that they are forced to fight in front of Long Fei, and they are dead. Only when you're desperate for mercy can you live. And Long Fei is also slightly condensed at this time. Yunjia. Oh, my women dare to touch. It seems that the control of this ancient world begins with killing. But it's just right, this time, completely eliminate all evil spirits. Long Fei said coldly and then turned directly. Build a horse. Here is for you, one does not stay. Long Fei said. The voice just fell, and the rest were four people, struggling desperately. No, you can't do this. You said that you will let us go. There is no word, no damn. No, I don't want to die. Damn, Long Fei, you can't die. I curse you. I will be suppressed by the three emperors, and there is no place to die. Several people desperately mourned and cursed. However, Long Fei simply did not take things seriously with the night child and the big sun goddess, and then the white deer picked up and seriously injured the faint clouds and went straight to the entrance. And Jianma, at this time, is a sinister smile. Hey, give me a shut up. The reason why my boss said that he lives around you is because you are not worthy of a shot. Moreover, my boss is letting you go. But sorry, I will not let go. Anyone who dares to anger my boss is damned. Now let me go. Jianma roared. His feet collapsed, and several people were directly crushed into meat, and the dead could not die anymore. Chapter 4607. Chapter 46:07 Cloud Home Underground. The endless flames rose out of the ground, and a strand of magma emerged from the ground. Oh la la! At this time, the sound of a shock chain swayed from it. Let me out. Please, please let me go. You're going backwards. Dig your own graves, and wait for Longfei to return. You are all saved. The clouds are coming from the endless magma, and the sound is exhausted and full of endless pain. Clouds, things are still obsessed with you today. Do you think Longfei really has a chance? At the beginning, he was arrogant, and even the supreme level of Xian Emperor was defeated in his hands. However, you can't think of how powerful the people behind this homeowner are. Otherwise, can the owner directly call the emperor? I'm not afraid to tell you that this time, the three emperors preached in order to attract Longfei. The adult has already deduced that Longfei is very likely to appear in the ancient world. Therefore, this time, it has already laid down the network, and with three emperors, it is easy to kill the dragon. So, you will die this heart, let alone Longfei will not appear. It is there, and it is also a dead end. At this time, on this magma purgatory, a figure appeared. It is the most talented child of the current Cloud family, named Yunti, and also the brother of Yinshao. At the same time, it is the successor chosen by the great emperor, and it has already broken through the ninefold. No, impossible. Longfei is truly invincible. He can even kill Xian Emperor. Who else is his opponent? Absolutely impossible. You are lying to me. You must be lying to me. Yinshao madly shook his head, but the worries and panic among the eyes have already betrayed her. She believes and is afraid, so looking at the sky and earth, the eyes are extremely complicated. Big brother, I beg you let me go. Dragon can't come here, it must not come. I beg you let me go out. Clouds madly praying, but the brows of Yunti are wrinkled and deeper. Clouds, I am very disappointed. I thought that this period of time will allow you to endure the suffering of magma, which will make you wake up. I don't think you are still obsessed with this. I tell you, after 3 days, it is the day when the three emperors preached, and between the sermons, it was also the time when the three emperors made the emperor, and you'll be a hub for the alliance between the three emperors. You will become the wife of Zhao's genius, Zhao Handsome. That is to say, only these 3 days, no matter if you want to understand or not understand, you must forget the dragonfly, otherwise, it will be trapped in my family. Yin Tian said. After that, I went straight to leave, and I never noticed that the eyes of Yinshao were full of despair. Even a dead sorrow breathes from the bottom of the eye. At this time, several people of Longfei have entered the Bohai Emperor's city, targeting the Yunjia. All the way unimpeded. After all, what is happening outside the city gate is now unknown. However, the city of Bohai Sea is not small. Moreover, Longfei did not have a big fanfare, fearing that it would attract the attention of the other party, which would be detrimental to the cloud. Time passes between minutes and seconds. Finally, in the evening, a few people from Longfei had already arrived before the Yun family. Looking at the front of a bright light rushing to the sky, Longfei's eyes are also covered with frost. The closer you are, the more certain Longfei is. This power is exactly the same as the one behind it that wants to compete for control of the ancient world. Husband, what happened? Nightchild asked. Longfei shook his head slightly. I am afraid that he has found a great source of change in the ancient world. If I have not guessed wrong, the so-called imperialism behind it is the kind of root cause that has changed the ancient world. Daon Goddess said. Longfei squinted. You guessed it well, then guess, what am I going to push you down and let you give me a baby? Longfei said, a change in tone. At the same time, the eyes are scanned up and down on the big sun goddess. In an instant, the big sun girl's face was blushing and said, Rogue. Then, don't go directly to your face. And Longfei's heart is also a glimpse. Apparently did not expect the Daon Goddess to make this reaction. According to the truth, a woman of this level, a big-eyed woman, should have a high vision. Longfei did not expect that the other party would accept himself so easily. It seems that the old lady has done a lot of work for me. But it's just right, I also want to see what the system girl said about the deity. Longfei's face was quiet and his mind thought. But now it is not the time to say this. Anyway, the big sun goddess has returned. Although Longfei does not know what happened to the sun god girl, it is because of her mother's sake, or something else. But at least, the reaction of the big sun goddess now makes Longfei's heart loose. After all, there is still a task in the system about the Great Yang. When you have solved the mistakes in front of you, you should do it as soon as possible. Longfei thought of it. His eyes were once again swept to the big sun goddess. It's not important to be beautiful. The focus is on making children, but the system is a task. I want to do it. Longfei's heart thinks evil. Until the feeling of the big sun goddess and the night child May also came to a killing. Longfei's mind was recovered and smiled. Boss, now I have arrived at Yunjiao. What do we do? Asked the white deer. Longfei looked up and looked at the Yun family, who was close at hand, and looked awkward. How? Do it at the time. But it's just in case I am attracted to their attention. As for you, try your best to find the clouds. Longfei said, the two-pronged approach is the most ensured. Longfei is confident that he can sweep, but he is also afraid of what kind of intrigues and tricks the other party will give birth to. This kind of thing is not the first time. Therefore, Longfei does not want to take risks. Reassure the boss, the big sister will be handed over to us. As for your side, don't be too violent. Wait for me to come out and have a good show, said the white deer. Yeah, master, don't shoot too fast. We also want to see this is the so-called emperor in the end. Jima also said. Longfei did not say a word and did not say much. Husband, you have to be careful. But the night is charming, but it is open. Even if you know that dragon is powerful, is full of worry. Although I know that you are absolutely in control of this world, this force will dare to openly seize power with you, and you'll not be too weak to think about it. You should be careful. Daon Goddess said, well, don't worry. A cloud home, I have never been in the eye. I have been slaughtered by the real emperor, let alone them. Longfei said casually. Then, step out and go straight to the cloud home. Chapter 4608. Chapter 4608. Stand up, kid. You dare to volley above my cloud home. Who is your courage? For a moment, the people of Yunjia reacted and angered Longfei. But unfortunately, Longfei did not have any interest in responding. There is a punch between the backhands. Rumble, rumble. Invincible punches turned out. The earth, the sky, the sun, the moon, the stars, the time, the space, and the power of the 7 penalties are noisy. Boom! Really worth the name of Invincible. Under the punch, the front row of the entire Yunjia was smashed into pieces by Longfei. Numerous Yunjia disciples were buried among them, and the dead bodies were buried. Even under the strangulation of the rules, even the souls have not escaped, and the soul flies away. This punch also made the entire Bohai city completely violent. At this time, the Cloud Home Corps. The Cloud Homes are gathering together and radiant. Ha ha ha. 3 days, another 3 days, the entire ancient world will become the land of my Cloud family. We are divided into 3 parts, and the history will be truly rewritten in the future. The world of Xian Emperor has passed. There is an adult. The future ancient world will be under our control. Ha ha. The Xian family is very excited. One person got the word. The chicken dog ascended to heaven. Now, they are coming to the emperor. What does this mean? Explain that they will become the ancient 3 giants. The former Xian family is the future of their cloud home. So at this moment, the Yun family has forgotten. Immerse yourself in endless fantasy. But all of this, but with the dragon flying a punch and completely broken. Rumble. At this time, the people of Yunjia also felt the power of destruction in this world, and the entire Yunjia Jingu temple began to shake. I rub, is this an earthquake? Is it that my lord has already called the emperor? The earthquake Nima, it is clear that someone is attacking my cloud home. A big dog, even at this time, I dare to come to my cloud house to make trouble. This is the longevity of Shaoxingong. Dry him. Suddenly, among the Yunjia Jingu shrine, countless Yun's core disciples are angry. In their eyes, the Cloud family is already the overlord of the world. They have been oppressed by the mysterious family. Now, they have been imagining to start to control the world in a crazy way, to overwhelm all beings and to be arrogant. Unexpectedly, the dream has not yet begun. It was attacked by people. For a time, countless figures, along with the elders and core members of the Yun family, all came out of the shrine and looked angry. At this time, the figure also surged from the periphery of the Cloud home to the Yunjia Jingu. Help! Elders, help! Some people attacked, and the Cloud home was badly damaged. The countless disciples have died tragically outside. One by one, the figure was rushing, the look of horror and fear, and the head of the hair was scattered, and the look was flustered. What panic! This time I come to my Cloud house to make trouble. No matter who it is just to die. A group of wastes, raising you all in white. What is the style of my Cloud family? My pride in the Cloud family? My belief in the Cloud family? Are you all eaten by you? Before the shrine, a Cloud home veteran looked gloomy and performed extremely majestic. After getting up, countless other Yin family children are also like this. The face of hate iron is not steel. I feel that now they have to ask for the ancients, but the performance of these disciples is too sullen. If you encounter something, you will be sincere and fearful, and you will die if you want to die. No, not an elder, too fierce. I can't resist it at all. He isn't a human at all. It hurts us half a Cloud home with a punch, and thousands of disciples are punched out. If it is not for us to be far away, now we are also dead. The Yun family disciple said, it is already a misfortune for them to be able to take off the ascension. So the words of the Cloud parents and the elite disciples at this time are meaningless to them. Even the rebuttal is too lazy to speak. Let's let it go. A punch? Are you old-fashioned when the old man is blind? The power just now contains a lot of breath. And how strong is my Cloud family's formation? You say that one person has destroyed half of the Cloud house by one punch? You are an old man. Is it silly? The parents of the Cloud are so guilty that they are extremely angry. In his view, these disciples are clearly making excuses for their own embarrassment and even compiling such jokes. He absolutely does not believe that one can destroy the Cloud home into this. Elders, what I said is true. The other party is really just a person and only a punch, and then our entire Cloud family's formation is shattered. Now, he should be coming soon. The Yunjia disciples still try to explain it. Hey, you are scared to be stupid. How did my Cloud family out of your waist? It's just right, the old man is going to have a look. Is the other person an individual or an organization that scares your waist like this? But no matter how much, there is only one result. That is death. Insult me, I will kill you. Cloud parents said sharply. Finished, the whole body was shocked. The Yunjia disciples behind him all cast their respectful eyes. And this elder, the face also showed a faint smile and enjoyed this respected feeling. But at this time, a figure directly reflected in the eyes of the people. The pace is gentle, and you walk in the same way, step by step on the void. I didn't even run. It was a bit of an accident. Longfei said faintly. Originally, he thought that after the previous means, Longfei was afraid that he would come, and he had already gone through the hollow. But I did not expect that the other party not only did not run, but instead greeted themselves. In the same way, it is not only Longfei, but also the people opposite Yunjia. At this point, they were stunned, and their eyes kept looking outward. I want to find more pictures. However, they're destined to be disappointed. Because of this battle, only Longfei, one person, really only one person. The children of Yunjia looked at Longfei and stood proudly in the void. All of them were forced. They can't think of the same. Everything is true. But this is not the point. The point is, if there is really only one person to fly, how strong is the strength of Longfei? A fist broke the Cloud family's formation. How much violent force does that give? For a time, their instincts in their hearts gave birth to a fear. Especially at this time, Longfei is too light, and the more dragons are indifferent, the more panic they have in their hearts. is the old parents of the cloud, and there is no arrogance in the face at this time. Instead, it is a dignity. Kid, who are you? Do you know that you have already fallen into a big disaster? Looking at the old man has not been angry. He has to shackle himself, and he will plead guilty, and he will be spared the crime of Julien. Otherwise, everyone who has something to do with you will kill nothing. Cloud parents said, kill innocent. Long Fei frowned slightly, a contemptuous look at the Cloud parents. Okay, then as you said, all the Yun family today, kill innocent. Chapter 4609. Chapter 4609. What Long Fei hates most is the threat of others, especially with people around you to threaten. Therefore, for those who use them to threaten Long Fei, there's only one result, that is death. Presumptuous. Kid, although I don't know how you did it, broke the cloud of my cloud. Juliu, but you have to know, my cloud family is already called the Emperor. In front of the Emperor, everything is illusory. Under the Emperor, they are all ants. I am a cloud home, and you can't provoke it. Cloud parents said, is it? I really want to try it, and I will make you a cloud home. What will happen? Long Fei said with a word and a word. After that, Long Fei shot again and punched a punch. In an instant, the power of the 7 rules instantly broke open. A fist phantom overlaps and jumps out of space. The earth roared, the sky was shaking, and the sun and the moon were dull. Boom! The devastating atmosphere instantly surged and swept across the world. Not good. Withdraw. The power of horror. Everyone will withdraw. Cloud parents burst into an instant. At this moment, everything that I said before became a joke. Nothing to worry about at all. Turn around and leave nothing to ignore. But behind him, the disciples did not respond at all, and there was no chance to escape. Boom! A violent punch fell down. Endless terrorist power burst in front of the entire Yunjia Jingu shrine. No! Help! I don't want to die. My great emperor, my family emperor, help. Elders, don't run, just us. A scream of screams came one after another. But in an instant, it was directly overwhelmed by the roar of a punch, and the twinkling of the moment suddenly disappeared. Rumble. Large pieces of Yunjia architecture collapsed directly into ruins. Rumble. Numerous figures are directly turned into powder after a punch, and the violent force is smashed into fly ash, dissipating the world. Rumble. The Yunjia Jingu shrine was directly cut by Long Fei. In the same way, there are thousands of Yunjia disciples directly exploding under the power of Long Fei. This kind of damage, even if it is a cloud home, is also a real injury. At this time, in the middle of the sea, everyone's line of sight is also attracted to this place. The same is true of Zhao Jia and Tang Jia. Tang family. The power of horror. The Yun family is afraid to kick the iron plate this time. I don't know what kind of existence is provoked. Tang's parents, Tang Shua, said, elders are more concerned. No matter who they are, the results will not change. The ancestors of the Yun family have already called the emperor, no matter who they are, in front of the power of the emperor. They are jokes. So, the more arrogant this person is now. The result is that the worse you die. Immediately, some people in the Tang family spoke. It seems that the face is not too surprised. The rest of the people also nodded constantly. Obviously, they also thought that the problem was not big. They did not put the Cloud family's accidents in their eyes. However, if they knew that Long Fei had only 2 punches from the beginning to the end, and the entire Yunjia, even the Jingu Palace, had been destroyed by Long Fei, I am afraid that I will never continue to think so. The same is true of the Zhao family at this time. Even, they simply did not know that at this time, the descendants of their Zhao family had died in the hoof of the horse. There is no slightest move to the Cloud family's accident. All the dialogues are exactly the same as the Tang family. That is, not afraid. Until one day, Long Fei came to the two in an invincible position. They felt the real despair. The picture turns at this time, Yunjia. The entire Cloud home was directly abandoned, and hundreds of miles of the courts became ruins. The figure of Long Fei is still standing proudly above the void, the light and cold, very cold and proud. Looking at the clouds and escaping out of the cloud parents and a few disciples, Long Fei mouth is full of sneer. Run? Run away? Strain even my 9 people? Just rely on your Yunjia. I really don't have this qualification. Invincible punch. Give me a break. Cold and cold. Long Fei did not show mercy and attacked instantly. Booming. Fist invincible. Invincible. The speed is invincible. Invincible punches came out again, and for a moment, they went thousands of miles. Hey! The invincible punches swept past, and the sound of a physical collapse collapsed in the void. Then, one after another, the figure of Yun's disciple fell in the void, and the dead could not die anymore. In the blink of an eye, the entire void, only the Cloud Parent is the old one. Cloud Parents are old, and there's still a little bit of a look at this time. The whole person fled in confusion. His eyes were full of blood, and he kept looking back. Looking at the punch that is getting closer and closer, there is infinite fear in the eyes. No, boy, how dare you do this? Don't you be afraid of my Yunjo Emperor? Don't be afraid of the suppression of the Emperor? The Cloud Parent's boss, surrounded by endless fear, completely recognized the Yunjia Emperor. However, Long Fei is a smile. For him, the Yunjia Emperor never did anything from beginning to end. As for the Emperor, it is a joke in his eyes. His world, he did not call the Emperor. Some people dare to make the Emperor? Who dares to make an Emperor? He does not allow. You are the side of the door. That is the retrograde way. Therefore, at this moment, facing the old threat of Cloud Parents, Long Fei's killing is even more intense. Emperor? Yunjia the Great? You really are afraid of Laozi? Besides, have you been waiting for me? Don't wait for Laozi. Do you want to kill Laozi completely? Now, I am coming. How come? You are jealous? Long Fei said, undisguised ridicule. What is not self-reliant? What is sitting on the sky? What is an idiot saying a dream? This is the 3 districts of Bohai, who wanted to lay out and kill him, were completely wrong from the very beginning. Moreover, it is an unforgivable mistake. At this time, the Cloud Parents always heard the words of Long Fei, and they turned a face and then became an incomparable color. You are Long Fei? Cloud Parents finally guessed the identity of Long Fei and exclaimed. Both eyes are wide, staring at the dragon flying. And Long Fei is a scornful mouth. Guess it? Unfortunately, what's the use? Said, Long Fei's offensive is not reduced. Invincible punches came to the surface. No, Long Fei, don't kill me. I am Yunxiao's uncle, you know. Yunxiao always misses you in your heart. If you kill me, I am afraid that Yunxiao will never forgive you. Cloud Parents said with an old anger. Long Fei's eyes hesitated slightly. But to change, this hesitation was directly killed by Long Fei. What can you do with your uncle? You're not good at the cloud, but you still blame the old man? Besides, now that Yunxiao's life and death are unknown, do you still have a face? If it is not a cloud, do you think that Laozi is still standing here to give you nonsense? Your cloud family, self-destruction. With a heavy bang, Long Fei had no scruples and slammed it out. Chapter 4610. Chapter 4610. At this time, the 3 bright spots of the Bohai Sea City gather. Straight as clouds are ups and downs, and the winds and clouds meet. Boom! A figure suddenly appeared in the place where the mysterious light meets and suddenly rises. Reverse, reverse. Little beast, even dare to treat me like this. A white-robed old man was furious, seeing cracks, scarlet eyes. As if I was shocked by anger, my whole body began to frantically surging, as if I couldn't wait to fight and kill. Cloud home angry. The big picture is heavy. The adults pave the way for you and me. What they want is to seize the control of the world. Going out now. The former has been abandoned. The emperor has collapsed. It is not worth it. Immediately, one person around him opened his mouth and persuaded him. It was also a white hair, and his face was thick. Yeah, Qin can't be impulsive. Why should you care about a family in the district? You and I will be emperors. In the future, the children and grandchildren will be even better. The inheritance of the ages will last forever. Because it is not so bad now, you just feel that the Cloud family is in danger, and you have not seen it with your own eyes. It is not true. Another person said openly. It is the Zhao family who called the emperor. Yun Qianquan, the ancestor of the Yun family, is also gloomy. The whole person has also become very hazy. But after all, I listened to a few words and silenced. Okay, let him live 3 more days. After 3 days, even if he is the king of heaven, he will die. Yun Qianquan said coldly. Bohai City. At this point, the city has been completely rioted. The Cloud family, whose reputation is so high, is so shattered. For the people of the city, it is the collapse of faith. In their view, the Yun family is already one of the dominant families. It is the future of the ancient world. But now, a piece of scorched earth, endless ruins. Awful, horrible. Who is this man? Even the 3 fists have extinguished the Yun family. What, 3 punches? How is this possible? A madman, a generation of madmen turned out. It seems that the sea city, not stable. I am afraid to run the 3 emperors. Inside the city, some people speculated that the direction of the Cloud home was far away, but no one at all dared to get close. At this time, the Cloud home is deep. The huge roar of the voice also made these people in the Yunjia people who were in the process of retreat and waiting for the opportunity to fly. The head of the Cloud is now the Emperor of Yunjia, Yuntiandi. I really don't know what to do, but I dare to come to my Cloud house at this festival. Yuntian's ground color is cold, and the eyes are far away. Now, the entire Cloud home has been destroyed. Only the depths of this film are left, and it is also the family of the relatives. Heaven and earth, those sidelines don't have to care too much. Looking at the movement, the people seem to be extremely fierce. We are now in a hurry and should wait for the ancestors to be emperors, and then wait for the opportunity to come. We are reborn. It is the right thing. Immediately, some people said, it seems that it has already given birth to a panic. But Yuntiandi seems to be unmoved. No, my Cloud family cannot be insulted, especially now my father said that the emperor is imminent. If I am now the Cloud family to give up, and the madman is still at large, let me cloud the face. No matter who I am the Yunjia emperor. I must kill him. As for you, I will go with me. The emperor will use this person's blood to come to my Cloud home to be majestic. Yuntian said, suddenly, step out. The rest of the people face each other. But the clouds and the earth have gone, but they dare not go. For a time, countless roads began to vacate. Even among them, there are several Cloud parents who exist. It can be said that this is already the most powerful force of the Yun family. What they didn't know was that at the moment when their figure disappeared, on the spot, the figure of the night child and other people appeared quietly. Then the means came out and went directly into the depths of the Cloud home. At this time, Longfei 2 fists smashed the Yunjia Jingu, and after killing the elder disciples, they were still above the void. He is waiting for more Yun family to come, but also for the night child and others to fight for time. Well, it's pretty fast. However, too disappointing me. This so-called Yunjia emperor is really so suffocating. The family is destroyed, and it is still not showing up. Longfei looked at the figures that appeared in the distance, and he thought of it in his heart. At this time, Yuntiandi and others were finally close, but they stopped directly. Looking at the devastated Cloud house, several people's faces were filled with anger, especially the Cloud world. Well, you have a dog thing, so it is so lawless. I am in the end of the Cloud. Why do you complain even the next time? Yuntiandi anger asked. In the eyes of hate, the sky is killing. Of course, in this case, anyone who sees it is the same. The family was destroyed, and the land of existence was destroyed. Longfei is slightly indulged. At least, at the time of the start, Longfei really thought about whether such a killer was too fierce. But the way to practice is like this. If they do not count the dragonfly, do not harm the Cloud, do not stand on the opposite side of the dragonfly for the sake of profit. Why bother to this? It can be said that everything is self-defeating and sin deserves it. And take a step back. Longfei absolutely does not allow accidents in the ancient world. This is related to his own tasks, and it is even more relevant. So everything that hinders the ancient world from controlling people in their own hands, Longfei will never stay. Cloud family, Zhao family, Tang family are the same. However, the people of Yunjia use the cloud and count on him. It is even more regrettable. His woman is his reverse scale, whoever touches who died. One thought about this. Longfei said, enmity? To the extent that you and me are now, isn't it too pediatric? Before, haven't you been counting on killing me? Even if you want to ban it, don't you just want to deal with me? This kind of enmity, I am destroying your cloud home. What's the matter? Longfei said faintly, but just finished. The face of people like Yenti Andy and others directly changed color. Dragon. You are a dragon. Are you not already dead? How come back? No, it is impossible. My great emperor once said that Longfei has died in the universe. How could it appear here? Suddenly, the people of Yunjia hurriedly spoke. And Longfei, his eyes are completely cold. He did not think that the people of the Yun family knew that they had gone to the world. This shows that the people behind the Cloud family are sure to be among the worlds. Collect the world cholera. Your Cloud family is really good. You said, such hatred, let alone killing your Cloud family, is to lock your Yunjia refining soul, but it is nothing. In love, you are a Cloud home. When it is extinguished, Longfei is still indifferent, and the killing is completely pervasive. Chapter 46:11. Chapter 46:11. Longfei was angry and completely gave birth to destruction. Originally, if the cloud came out, Longfei also considered letting go of the Yun family, but now there is no such possibility. Colluding with Wanjia and plotting ancient times. This is the inverse scale of Longfei. Longfei is the earth that traverses. The most unseen thing is the garbage that sells the country for the sake of the 96 glory. For myself, even the millions of people in the ancient world can be abandoned. Therefore, it must be dead. I'm a cloud house. Dragonfly, are you really invincible? If you're arrogant, as for now, return to the ancient world. I heard that the dog, like the funeral dog chased by the Wanjia, is hiding in Tibet. What is it going to be in front of us? Yin Tian said, hey, with a bit of sneer. Longfei is a glimpse. I'm like a dog at home, forced to return to the ancient world. When is this time? And this protagonist, he has nothing to know. However, Yenti Andy seems to be extremely determined, as if he had seen his experience in Wanfang. Pack, then install. Now the entire ancient world does not know. Yu Longfei wants to stand in the middle of the world, but the result is swept. What to install? Long Ting. I am. Then I was chased, and I didn't know which corner to hide in, and I was silent. Then I'm coming back and want to force in the ancient world? Tell you impossible. Yun Tiendi disdain. Even if Yun Tiendi saw the dragon fly alone and destroyed the whole cloud home, he did not put Longfei in his eyes. Under the anger, the opening is ridicule. And Longfei, but it is a dumbfounding. He didn't understand why this kind of infinity had become a model in the mouth of Yenti Andy. Stupid. Longfei sneered. For this kind of person, Longfei only responded with these two words. In addition, what is said is superfluous. At the same time, Longfei's heart is more and more certain. After the trio, the tentacle must have come from the world and know very well about his whereabouts. Therefore, we can use this gap into the world of Tongxian and make waves in the ancient world. However, after all, the bamboo basket is watered. No matter who it is, as long as it touches the ancient world, it will surely die. At this time, Yenti Andy heard the response of Longfei, and his face was extremely embarrassing. Longfei, you are a fart. Don't say that your current cultivation is super big and full, and the emperor is already full of peaks. Half step to ask the emperor, this cultivation is, can you understand? Although I don't know what power you use to break my cloud home, but repair is everything. This emperor does not believe you can fight with me. Yanti frowned. Strong support. Yes, he is now strong. Before, he dared to show up with the Yun family. It is because he did not know the person who came a fly. But at the moment, there is no turning back in the bow. At this moment, countless pairs of eyes are already viewing here. If he retired, the face of the Cloud family would be completely lost. In other words, he can't retreat. And Long Fei glanced at the sky and the earth. Slightly shake your head. Repaired? This kind of thing has always been a quantitative figure for him. It can only be proved that the higher the cultivation, the stronger the strength of Long Fei. As for the comparison with other people's cultivation, it is not at one level. Don't say anything invincible. Long Fei wants a fight, even if it is 2 levels higher. Long Fei is not afraid. Among the original Wanjia, those who were kings, which one was not repaired beyond the super great consummation, which one is not above the ancient world, but what can be the result? In front of Long Fei, it was a chicken and a dog, and it instantly collapsed. What's more, the gap between the original Long Fei and the present is not a single point. At the beginning, Long Fei was able to sweep the king of Wanjia. So now, just a super successful peak, dare to arrogate in front of himself? There is no such possibility at all. In other words, the cloud world at this time, in front of Long Fei, is a clown. From the beginning to the end, Long Fei never put the other side in the eye. The reason why I stayed is just waiting for the other party to say more. Obviously, the result obtained made Long Fei unexpected. This result also directly led Yanti to successfully complete a death for his death. One thought of this. Long Fei no longer waits between the backhands, the king of the blade, and the hands of control. Rumble. At the same time, with the dragon-flying World King's blade shot, the entire ancient world began to burst into a roar. As if I felt the power that truly belongs to the masters of the ancient world, I began to roar and began to growl. At this moment, the dragon flies domineering. Being in the void is like being the only one that blends with the entire ancient world. Endless oppression began to emerge from the body of Long Fei. It is Long Fei, the more I feel a little accident. The blade of the kings can actually cause such a big reaction? Is this what the mother said? The king of the world, not just an identity? Long Fei's eyes were brilliant. Between the thoughts, directly from the system space, mobilized the king of the king. Brush. The golden light flashed. The king of the kingdom appears directly above the top of Long Fei. In an instant, the entire ancient world is completely boiling. The endless world of heaven and earth began to roll. A steady stream of people gathers above the void. At the same time, a breath of unspeakable words rose above the ancient sky. Brush it. A ray of light directly descended from the sky, shrouded in Long Fei. At the same time, a breath of the world flying in the dragonfly. If you are, Long Fei is the master of the ancient world. This scene also happens not only in Bohai City. Almost all of the ancient world, at this moment, felt the changes of the ancient world. But the first to bear the brunt is the cloud house in front of you. Boom! The dragon's momentum was shocked, and the whole cloud home was completely transformed into nothingness. It seems that in the face of Long Fei, they should have this fate. Hey, step by step, the cloud family burst into madness, and under the crush of the dragon's breath, they lowered their noble heads one by one. There is no exception to Yanti. Even Yanti was specifically targeted by Long Fei. The whole person was kneeling directly on the ground, and the bones of the whole body began to creak, and then a mouthful of blood sprang from the mouth. No, this is impossible. What power is this? I am a prince. My father will soon be called the emperor. Even the emperor has no such power. How can you control it? I don't believe it. If the sky and the sky are crazy, they will continue to linger. But Long Fei, silently, do not believe, just as ignorance. Instead, Long Fei now does not want to keep a low profile. Especially now, the king of the world, the power of the ancient world directly belongs to Blessing, but also let Long Fei instantly realize. That is, he is the king of the ancient world. He is the lord of the ancient world at this time. Everything is small, everything is stunned, but it is a joke. Chapter 46:12. Chapter 46:12. At this moment, the entire ancient world is centered on Longfei. Except for that kind of power that has been falsified by the ancient roots, it cannot be controlled by Longfei. It can be said that the entire ancient world is moved by the dragon. Ah, forgive. Longfei, don't kill us. We are all innocent. We are ordinary Yunjia children. Spare us. Yes, it's all the clouds and the sky. The father and the son are demon. It doesn't matter to us. Suddenly, a scream of screams appeared. One after another, there is no end to the year. Even directly send the Yunti father and son to sell. Throw all the black pots on the clouds and fathers. You confuse. If it weren't for us, can you be a person? My Yunjia really raised a group of dogs. What is your pride? Faith? Family creed? Puff. Yunti screamed. Because the emotions are too excited, the body that has been crushed by Longfei can no longer bear, and the direct anger spurts of blood. At this time, Longfei is also a glimpse. In the same way, this is the second time he heard it. I am Nima. There is brainwashing in the world of practice. The Cloud family is afraid of being a pyramid scheme. However, it seems that it is a failure. Longfei thought of it. Proud? Belief? Creed? The previous Cloud parents have already said. Unfortunately, the last ones were fleeing and became a complete joke. Now, when I hear Yuntian say this, Longfei feels ridiculous. Because at this moment, it is even worse than just now. In the face of life and death, Yun's disciples have already scared their courage. Yin Tiendi, don't worry about it. Can you still recognize the form? If it weren't for your father and son, because of the Cloud sisters, we are now relatives of Longfei adults. I blame you. I still dare to tell us what arrogant creed. You are so afraid of being stupid. Dragon-flying adult, you want to kill him, let us go. Another voice of pleading. At this moment, Yunti is completely isolated. What emperor, what Yunjia, in the face of life and death, were all thrown behind them. And Yunti is even more furious. His face is red, and he has already suffered internal injuries. Now, in front of Longfei, he feels humble to pity. Originally, I also vowed to marry Longfei, the name of Xingyunjia. But now, Longfei has not yet shot, and their Cloud family has become a joke, falling apart and fighting. A typical dog bites a dog, a mouth hair. The more so, the Cloud and the earth are even more sorrowful. And Longfei, at this time, suddenly stopped. This kind of picture is rare. Even Longfei directly used his own power to spread the dialogue of this place directly to the entire Bohai city. It can be said that after today, the Yun family will not only be completely destroyed, but also stigmatized for thousands of years. And everything, just as Longfei expected. At this time in the Bohai city, because of the dialogue between Yunti and others, it directly set off a huge wave. Yunjia, it's really over. Longfei really is Longfei. The three fists destroyed the Yun family, and the momentum was shocked. The Yun family was like a dog. I feel that he is the new master of ancient times. Countless voices spread out in all corners of Bohai city. All are shocked. All of them are stunned, only because of the sturdy posture that Longfei has shown at this time. As they say, Longfei is already the real master. I feel that Bohai city is going to change. It's not just the Bohai city. It should be the entire ancient world. Don't forget that the three emperors became enlightened. That is, they want to control the ancient world. Now, when the dragons fly back, it is absolutely impossible to tolerate their existence. Throughout the Bohai city, everyone's mood changes. At this moment, the preaching of the three emperors is completely unimportant. They all understand that when Longfei returns, it will surely set off a storm. The picture turns above the Cloud home. One Cloud disciple has completely collapsed. Even if Longfei does not shoot, this breath has already stunned their souls. I don't dare move. It seems that as long as there is a little bit of inconsistency, it will be directly crushed into by Longfei. Yantiandi looked sad, but his eyes were still in vain. Longfei, I still have a card. My father has become an emperor. You have no means at all. Now you can't see the clouds. Aren't you nervous at all? I can tell you that Yun's current life is in my hands. If you dare to hurt me, I can guarantee that, like Yun Xiao, I will be buried with me. Ha ha ha. How are you dumbfounded? If you have a kind of kill, I won't believe you don't even care about it. Yantiandi laughed. There is no fear. A pair of people decided to look like a dragon. Yes, at this time, in the depths of the Yun family, a sudden explosion of explosions broke out. Then, a strand of magma rose directly into the sky, and the entire void was reddish at a time. So terrible. The next moment, the magma fell into the sky, and the entire Bohai city directly became a purgatory. Do not. Help. Longfei adults, don't kill us. We are innocent. Longfei adults, take the means. This is not our business. In an instant, as the end of the day, the masons of the city are reigning, and there are countless deaths and injuries. And Longfei, at this time, is also a gaze. But the next moment, it will be relieved. In front of his eyes, the night child and other people have returned, and what he is holding in his arms is Yun Xiao. And Longfei, at this time, the full killing of the moment instantly rose. Endless killing is in your heart. Damn! A heavy bang. The movement of Longfei's scorpion, the power of eternal life, swept the eyes in an instant. Booming. The next moment, Longfei's hands were lifted, and the magma of the sky suddenly stopped. As time is fixed, condensed on the void. Clouds! Longfei exclaimed, stepping through the air and heading straight to the dragon. Looking at the clouds at the moment, the heart is like a knife. At this moment, the clouds are repaired, all of them are imprisoned, and the meridians are broken. Even the souls have been damaged. Damn, Yantiandi, are you still a cloud home? She is also a man of your cloud family. The dragon sighed and screamed. The real anger is soaring, and the endless anger is emerging from the bottom of my heart. Ha ha ha, how are you angry? What about that? I can tell you. Can you know the law of the letter? Her existence, this is for my future paving. Now, I'll just let you know that if you dare to hurt me, my injuries will be transferred directly to her. Even if she is dead, she will die first. Ha ha ha, can you kill me? Yantiandi struggled to get up and laughed wildly. It seems that everything is reversed, and I can threaten the dragonfly. In an instant, Longfei's heart was shocked, and he looked at the cloud in front of him, and he was very guilty. Chapter 46:13. Chapter 46:13 from the mouth of Yantiandi. How can Longfei not see it? At this time, the reason why Yun Xiao was so seriously hurt is because of himself. Damn, damn, damn. 3 sounds in a row, each of which makes Longfei remorse in his heart. How can he think that the Cloud family actually has such a means? Husband, what to do? Yun Xiao's sister is now extremely seriously damaged. It is almost a moment of annihilation, and now it is in jeopardy. The night child said with a frown, very heavy. Yun Xiao is a woman of Longfei, and she knows that Longfei is deeply affectionate. If there is any accident in Yun Xiao, it is also a major blow to Longfei. It is the great sun goddess, and this time also shows a touch of worry. In a panic, he quickly said, Longfei, the soul of Yun Xiao, is disappearing quickly, and the root cause I can feel is on this person. The big sun goddess said, the eyes are condensed, and the killing is looming. Ha ha ha, see it. Dragon, this is my card. Is it unexpected? How can you be arrogant? How can you be invincible? It is not the same as me now. If you want to save your woman, let me go. Otherwise, I am just fighting the spirit of self-destruction, and I will let Yun Xiao give me a funeral. Yin Tian said. At this point, Yantiandi has completely ignored it. I don't care about my family. I don't know. At this time, the sound of this voice is clearly clear to the audience. At this time, the cloud consciousness is deep. A special mark is constantly flashing. The cloud is struggling with the soul, and his eyes are almost red. The most cruel thing in the world is this. She regards a Yin family as her own family and as her own. I never thought that I was just a fan in my brother's eyes, and this thing my parents must know. This result makes Yun Xiao completely unacceptable. For a moment, the soul suddenly slammed. The next moment, Yun Xiao's eyes suddenly opened. And just in the moment when the clouds opened, eyes and eyes, Yin Tiandi's eyes instantly dropped blood. What? The sky and the earth screamed. The whole person fell to the ground directly, and the soul of the soul was weakened in an instant. No, it is impossible. How can the mother's law of the soul be lifted? I don't believe it. This is absolutely impossible. The sky roared, and the soul was lost. He knows better than anyone else that Yun Xiao is his last card. If Yun Xiao really lifted the law of the mother-in-law, then it means that he will die in front of Long Fei. Similarly, Long Fei is also a glimpse. The moment before, my heart was still very painful. In the blink of an eye, Yin Xiao wakes up and makes Long Fei feel a little more aggressive. Cloud you. Long Fei tentative opening. Nothing. The cloud said sternly. The mind is extremely exhausted. As if before Yenti Andy, the impact on him is too great. However, Long Fei did not dare to relax, and between the backhands, directly squeezed out of blood. Swallow it. Long Fei said, resolute and overbearing. Yin Xiao looked up at Long Fei, pretending to be a stubborn face, and then disguised it. There was a blush in the eyes and a tearful eyes. Long Fei's heart is soft. What? Want to reject my good? Then you can forget the gambling between us? Long Fei said, no. I am just... Yin Chong resisted the urge to cry, took the dragon's blood from Long Fei's hand, and then threw it into the belly. Call. In an instant, the face of Yin Xiao became directly red, and the whole person had no time to say anything. His eyes moved, and he passed out directly. And Long Fei, the softness of his face gradually disappeared. Sleep. When you wake up, all the people who have hurt you will no longer exist. Long Fei said. After that, my eyes looked at the night and nodded slightly. And the night child is also the meaning of Ming Wu Long Fei. Take the cloud and take it in his arms. Then Long Fei's eyes turned and his hands lifted slightly. Booming. The boundless magma begins to sway from the solid state above the void. Then, one after another began to merge. Rumble, rumble. The entire Bohai city was in the midst of this intense magma fusion, and it began to melt. In the twinkling of an eye, 2 huge magma fireballs condense in the void. Moreover, Long Fei can feel that this magma is absolutely unusual. It seems that because of his existence, it has been added a bit of destruction. In other words, if the current magma fireball falls, it is enough to destroy the entire Bohai city. Instead, Yenti Andy is completely panicked. Dragon, don't. Please do not. I am Yun Xiao's brother. If you kill me, you will leave the world criticized. At the time, Yun Xiao is definitely not with you. Yes, Long Fei, think about Yun Xiao. Let me go, I promise I will never appear in front of you again. Yenti Andy is begging for mercy. Without the cloud, he was in front of Long Fei, even screaming for qualification. But everything is late. Just when he threatened Long Fei with Yin Xiao, he was still doomed. Later, when he used his mother-in-law to transfer his own damage to Yin Xiao, his life had already come to an end. To shut up, what are you special about your face? You are a man of the cloud family, but if one person really cares about the clouds, what is for you today is the glory. What you want to have is possible. But now, only death can pay off your sins. And you can rest assured that you will not be alone on Huangquan Road. Soon, the Tang family and the Zhao family will follow you on the road. Long Fei said coldly, and his hands fell. Boom! In the roar, 2 huge magma fireballs screamed away. The direction to go is Zhao Jia and Tang Jia. At almost the same time, Long Fei's hand in the hands of the king's blade slammed. Bang! Rumble. 9 dragons emerged from nothingness, arrogant and empty. The figure of Long Fei stands on the dragon's horn of the center dragon. Cut. Long Fei has a heavy drink. Immediately, Jiulong Yutian, a knife fell. Brush it. The knife rushed into the sky and instantly collapsed. Do not. Yentiandi roared his eyes, and the endless unwillingness and resentment broke out from the bottom of his eyes. But only for a moment. Among his nephews, he was directly flooded with a knife. Then, hey, with a knife and a knife, Yin Tianyi's head was directly smashed, and the head was different. Even the souls are directly annihilated and dying on the spot. Of course, some of the disciples of the Yun family also had no accidents and were killed by Long Fei. At this point, the entire cloud home completely smoldering. And Long Fei at this time, his eyes are once again. The next step is Zhao Jia and Tang Jia. The existence of any ancient world of cholera is bound to die. Long Fei murmured. Chapter 46:14. Chapter 46:14. Tang family. The Tang family is very proud and does not put the threat of Long Fei in the eye. Before that, I thought that Long Fei couldn't look down on the storm in the cloud home. However, at this moment, all the Tang family members have been circled. Looking at the void, a growing fireball, Tang Jiazhong people are very scared. Hey, what is this? More and more? Hotter? Is it difficult to be the fireball of the sun in the sky? The people of the Tang family stopped from cultivation and looked up at the sky. However, it is getting hotter and hotter. In an instant, the Tang family finally realized. Mom, enemy. It's an enemy. This is going to turn the sky. Just breaking, fast martial. The disciples of the Tang family are crazy. Without it, it is because this power has already brought them a threat and brought the horror of death. However, it is too late. Above the void, the huge magma is scattered directly into countless pieces during the rapid fall. In a flash, it instantly rushes into the Tang family. Rumble, rumble. The destructive prelude opened. This magma fire became the first shot to burn the Tang family ashes. Unstoppable and unstoppable. Because of this magma, it has already been mixed with the will of Long Fei. And Long Fei, the owner of the ancient world, his will is the master. Booming. In an instant, endless speech fell from the void, and the huge fireball began to split, and it was 1,000,000. However, what is targeted is only the Tang family. As for the area outside the Tang family, it is a piece. At this time, Bohai City, the endless repairs are also a piece of it. Before this magma was descended from the sky, if it fell, it was afraid to destroy the entire Bohai City. Now, under the control of Long Fei, it is only aimed at the Tang family. This is a kind of reinvention for them. Bob Bully. Sure enough, the ancient world is new. Long Fei adults are the ancient masters. I was blinded with lard, and I believed in the emperor. How can someone be called the emperor in just a few months? Some people say that the eyes are filled with remorse. They all know in their hearts that the general destructive power of this disaster is the means of Long Fei. If it is not for Long Fei, it is only for the Tang family and the Zhao family. I am afraid that they will die as well. Therefore, for a time, everyone's mind is a one-sided mentality. What the emperor has been completely useless in their eyes. After all, Long Fei's strong squats are here, and it's invincible. Strong as a cloud home, in the hands of Long Fei, but also 3 punches, there is no power to parry. The Tang family and the Zhao family are no better than the Yun family. Therefore, the fate of the 2 families can be foreseen. Yes, it is now that the so-called 3 emperors still do not appear, and they have to be suspicious. At this time, what they did not know was that, far from the ancient void, the center of the 3 bright lights gathered. The ancestors of the Zhao family and the ancestors of the Tang family were equally angry. Reverse, reverse. I have to go back, otherwise my family will be gone. Tang's ancestors, Tang Xian said. The face was full of anger and a killing. Yes, I didn't think of it. He turned out to be Long Fei. Now, he already has the power of the ancient world, and he is afraid that it is even more violent. If we don't go back, I am afraid that the entire ancient world will think that we are bluffing. When it is time, it is really a joke. Zhao, the ancestor of the Zhao family, said, "Yes, there's a cloud of coldness, but it is a cold face." Looking at the nervous expression of Tang Xian and Zhao Wei, a sneer appeared in the corner of his mouth. 2. The overall situation is heavy. Otherwise, if it is a good thing that delays that person, I am afraid that you will not say anything about the family. That is, you can only become a fly ash. Yin Qianquan said. There was a bit of funny in the muzzle, just as the two men persuaded him. Let him watch his own cloud house buried in the hands of Long Fei. So now, watching Long Fei aim at the two, he has a sense of balance in his heart. So it is impossible to let the two leave. Tang Xian Zhao and Zhao Wei's eyes are in sight, in the midst of infinite anger, with a kind of suffering. As if it is inner, it is also extremely struggling. But in the end, the two were still silent. It seems that the same is the horror of the people mentioned in the mouth of Yin Qianquan, who gave up the mind that he wanted to return. Upon seeing it, Yin Qianquan smiled softly. This is right too. Now, the three of us are really the same fate. Long Fei is now our genocide. So this time, to complete the layout of adults, there will be no more two hearts. At the time, wait for the emperor to become a good one. You and I will stand. At that time, it was time to raise the dragon's bones and smash the skin. In the eyes of Yun Kunkin, the cold light is constantly flashing, and it is faint. Bohai City. The boundless magma burned completely, and the flames of the pieces rose from the sky. The Tang family and the Zhao family all fell into endless purgatory. No, why is this? Why destroy my Tang family? My Tang family will become a great family. Who is it so poisonous and break the road of my Tang family? No, my great emperor, come and save us. In a flash, the Tang family fell into endless despair. Before that, a pair of high hangs, and it doesn't matter. But they absolutely can't think of it. The wind and water turn, and between the blink of an eye, it is the disaster. Brush it. For a time, countless Tang masters began to continually blast the means to shield the rolling magma flames above the void. Booming. However, this is no longer an ordinary geothermal magma, but a force that is interspersed with the ancient world and contains the power of the dragon to destroy the will. Endless. It is not their strength to resist. You must know that Long Fei was already king in the ancient world when he killed the emperor. Nowadays, after the tempering of Wanjia and Tongxian world, Long Fei has long been not the original, killing the district Tongjia and Zhaojia. Can they also have the power to resist? Non-existent. Inadvertently, Long Fei's hands sank, and the infinite magma force burst instantly. It's banging. All the forces of resistance, at this moment, were directly shattered. Hey! One after another, the Tang family directly fell. The more they struggle, the more they suppress, the more violent they are. At the same time, the magma of the sky has finally fallen, and the power of the world has been destroyed, and the Tang family has been destroyed into ruins. If you don't stay in the grass, you will turn it into a sea of fire. All the people of the Tang family did not even have the chance to fly in front of the dragon. They were directly in the sea of fire and died. At this time, the Zhao family is the same. A magma eruption. Under the blessing of Long Fei will the entire Zhao family also completely annihilated. At this point, the so-called Bohai Emperor City, the three emperors completely in the hands of Long Fei, became history. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.